Excellent.
You don't know what you're doing.
Welcome, everybody, to an all-new episode of Much to Do About Nothing. You guys are used to us doing this show on Monday nights, but we were gaming yesterday, and that was so much fun. None of us cared to stop to do a podcast, so we are here today. I think we streamed a little bit of it on Twitch, didn't we? I feel like when I looked on Twitch, it was just clips. It wasn't like the full...
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe
No,
we
I think
didn't. Maybe we did. I don't know. Go ahead,
Some of
Mitch.
it, I think, I was gonna say, I thought some of it hit Twitch, especially that last horror game.
Yeah, well, if you guys are following our Twitch, you saw whatever went up. So we were having a lot of fun. It was an awesome time. Like I said, guys, if you're not following us on Twitch, there are going to be moments, guys, where we're gaming instead of potting sometimes. So follow Twitch. We might mix potting in the gaming.
Especially
So
once you
follow
guys
us
get,
on
all
Twitch.
get Among Us. That's what you guys all need to get.
Oh yeah. It's $3.29 right now. I did see that. It's $3.29 right now.
So expensive.
No. I'm just saying. Didge was saying he thinks it's free, and I was just saying it's not. But I mean, it's essentially
It's
free.
free
$3.
on some platforms, so you can play it a lot of places.
On my
Yeah.
Switch, it was free. Yeah. But PlayStation, they're like, no, you're gonna pay that $3 to $4. But anyway, so if you're not following us on Twitch, please make sure you are doing right now. Turn your notifications on. We don't plan our streams. We are all way too busy in life to do that. So sometimes it's just spur of the moment. So have your notifications on, guys, so you can know when we are streaming over on Twitch. But all right, so back to Much Ado About Nothing here today, potting. We have the group here. I think Jamie should be joining soon. Mike wants to hopefully join before we end this podcast. But we do have a packed house, starting off with Trayvon. What's going on, Trayvon?
Hey, everybody, happy to be here. Can't wait to talk about all the things we have to talk about.
All the things or
I was
one
gonna say,
thing?
one thing,
Most of the
I
things.
appreciate you, faking the funk for that.
We know you well enough to know that was faking the funk, but we love you, Trayvon. Didge, what's going on, Didge?
Oh, not much. It's getting warm outside.
It is. It's hitting heavy. That heat's starting to hit heavy. This summer might be unruly.
I got a fire watch today, so that was nice. Whatever that means.
Jesus.
Oh, okay. See, look, okay. All right, guys. I'm starting to turn into Drax. I'm starting to turn into Drax because I thought you meant like you got a fire watch, like you just bought a new watch. It's like,
Oh no!
dope. I'm sorry.
I was like, I don't live in California. What's happening?
We actually had a massive fire here in New Jersey, in Newark. I think like a power plant or something blew up. Yeah. It was on the news all day today. My aunt watched it. I don't watch the news. If I don't get my news from Twitter, it doesn't exist. All right. Next up, Joel. What's going on, Joel?
It was good. There's a lot of shit going on this week, so I'll talk about.
There is, absolutely. AJ, what's going on, AJ?
Living my best life. How are you guys doing?
My eardrum just blew out, but pretty
You
good.
came
Thank
in
you.
You can't have
Living
my best life.
My bad. What are you talking about?
He came in like he thought we couldn't hear him. Like, no, we hear you. So them decibels can drop.
Super loud and clear.
But all right, let's jump right into it. We didn't get a chance to talk about Super Mario Bros. Movie came out last week, right?
Last Thursday. Oh, Tuesday.
Last Tuesday. Because Trayvon saw it Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, so this is kind of just our non-spoiler, even though there's really no spoilers. It's a non-spoiler. We're just gonna go around and give our overall thoughts on. I think they said this is the biggest video game movie box office to date.
I'm almost positive, yeah.
Yeah. I think before this it was Sonic 2, and then this I think just dethroned Sonic 2.
I think
So that's. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
overall, I think it was Frozen 2. I think.
Oh no!
No,
I'm sorry. No, I said video game movies, not
Oh,
animation.
video
Just video
games.
game movies. Yeah, just video game.
But I think it'd be animated movies though too. Like I think.
Oh, okay. Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm about to double
Yeah,
check.
good.
Yeah, look it up because that's crazy if it be animation.
That is. I really did enjoy this movie. There were some subtle changes that I thought were awesome. To like characters like Peach. To kind of allow Peach to not be a damsel in distress, stand out a little bit more. They kind of approach Peach the same way they approached Jasmine in the live-action Aladdin movie. Where it's just like, are you gonna get these hands? I'm not. Ain't nobody saving me.
I saw some people like talking about this. Apparently, in older games, it's not. She's not always like that. So apparently, she.
I do not
She's playing
remember.
Mario Brothers 2. She's a playable character.
See, I didn't know that. See, I never.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
I had that
I
game.
won't fake that funk. I don't remember that at all.
I
Well, shit. I mean, in today's time, how the hell are we still making Mario games where I got to go rescue her ass? Save yourself.
But to be fair, a lot of the later Mario games, you're rescuing her, but that's not like the main. It feels like
No, it's not the main thing, right?
It feels like it's like, yo, you got to go beat up Bowser. Also, you know, hey, Peach is there too. You might want to get her. Too,
Right.
Get
On your
way.
Right, on your way out, just grab her.
Like,
No, this was
she
also
could probably leave, but it's like, hey, pick her up, help her out.
right. You get there, she's back at her castle. You're like, what happened?
Right.
Oh, I saved myself like a day ago. But appreciate you. But no, if you're fans of the Mario games, whatever era, this covers it for you. If you're fans of Luigi Mansion, this covers it for you. That's their cousin, Luigi. He hangs out with Wario. But anyway, this was great. I had a lot of fun. It was very nostalgic. It did the same thing that Sonic did for me. It made me immediately want to go play a Mario game. And to me, that you did your job. Like I leave you and I'm like, I gotta go play this. This is just like so great. Didge, what were your thoughts on this?
I had a good time. It was a lot of fun. I will address the elephant in the room. The voice still wasn't good. It was like a bad Mario impression to me, but it didn't take me out of the film. So I live to survive it, I guess. Quick note, we were talking about the release. It was the third highest grossing for any animated film ever, behind The Lion King and Incredibles 2. And to what Trayvon said, it was the highest grossing video game adaptation ever.
See how easy it is to trip over your words? And y'all make fun of Luigi. See that, Didge? It happens, okay? Yo, it's so fast. Anyway, you know what, Didge? I'm glad you said that because it still shocks me that no one has made an animated movie that could touch Lion King. That will forever surprise me.
That's wild. I gotta see what their opening was, because this opened, I think, to like 370. I was sure that was the highest opening ever.
And you know, it's even more impressive for Lion King still being the highest grossing animated movie.
No, it's not that Lion King. It's the live action Lion King.
Oh,
that makes sense.
Okay, then yeah, that makes sense. Because I'm shocked. Nothing has beat that. Like that's wild.
That makes a lot more sense. Okay.
All right. Cool.
Gotcha.
I will say in response to you, Didge, I like how the movie addressed the voice to where it's more so like the voice was supposed to be a caricature. It wasn't supposed to be like that's how Mario sounds like every day of his life. To me, I like that they kind of acknowledged it in that way right away. Joel, I'll go to you. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, like, I agree. Because to me, it's always been weird that he transitioned to a straight up Italian dude. I was like, okay, I grew up with Mario, but that's what he sounded like. Right. That whole Mario rap, I grew up with that. That was my Mario. So, like, for them to transition to like, it's a me, a Mario. It was just okay. That was not but that's what everybody knows now and it associates with him. But that's not what I grew up with. But I do appreciate them using both, and that it is kind of a caricature. It's like kind of weird, and the fact they had like right after that commercial, the original Mario shop in the original like same color scheme and clothing as the original Mario. I thought that was dope. Right, yeah. I mean, and again, I've never argued that it does not sound like what a lot of us know Mario to sound like. Mm-hmm. My response to it has always been, once they casted Chris Pratt, immediately everyone should have just known. I mean, it was just never going to sound anywhere.
Yeah, but his statement of it won't sound like anything you've ever heard before is that I think that was sort of it. And to his point, he felt at that because we've heard that impression of Mario before. It's just a bad impression of Mario. Like we've heard bad impressions.
I don't. Well, I still don't feel it's a bad impression because it is take. Wow, and the Mario trailer is coming on as we're talking about. But for me, I don't know. I don't know. To me, like
Also,
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. I just want to make sure I stress though that was it didn't take me out of the film. I still really enjoyed it because I don't want it to come across like, oh, well, I didn't like the film because I enjoyed it a lot. But I just, I was right. I felt like in my justification of saying I wasn't gonna like the voice.
To me, I appreciated what he brought because I didn't think Charlie Day sounded anything like Luigi. I thought Charlie Day just sounded like Charlie Day.
Even less so.
What?
I felt like that was it. The man, I don't know. It felt Luigi like to me. So I don't know.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to agree to disagree.
It was just Charlie Day.
That's what I'm saying. I've watched too much Charlie Day, and all I heard was just Charlie. I'm not saying Digis either. So I want to make that very clear. This is neither of us attacking either one of the actors.
Oh no.
Charlie Day, I thought, to me, Charlie Day is the perfect person to embody Luigi because any role he's ever been in, he is essentially like a Luigi, right? So I'm like, for me, it didn't matter because I knew once you casted him, it was going to sound like Charlie Day, right? So I'm like, to me, that was fine. That was totally fine. I wrapped my head around the idea that they're not going to sound like maybe what I'm used to them sounding like. But the more I heard him talk as Luigi, the more I was just like, this might be one of the best castings ever in animated movies because that's Luigi. Charlie Day is Luigi. He embodies it. So for me, it was awesome. I really, truly did appreciate it. But yeah, no, it definitely just sounded like Charlie Day. I mean, come on, guys. But Trayvon, how did you feel about the movie?
Fucking brilliant. So I loved it. Loved the movie all the way through. Loved it. Look, Mario his voice was a non-factor for me, honestly. Like it started the movie, I was like, oh, okay, that's what it sounds like. I don't give a fuck. Let's get to Luigi. Let's get to Luigi. So I didn't care. I was like, when I started, listen, the things they did in this movie, the things they were able to accomplish, just blew me away. I was like, okay, because that was one thing I was looking forward to. I was like, how are they going to explain the abilities? How they explain how they're going to incorporate all of those things? And they did it. And I was sitting there eating it up. I was eating this shit up. I don't care. They got me. Like it was just all nostalgia for me. I'm not gonna lie, but I was just sitting there like, this is brilliant. Yep. So so I just had a great time with it. I don't know. I'm just really excited for what could be after this. Like I'm always excited about when they are able to actually build the world out, and I can feel like there's so much more they can do in it. That's what excited me. I was like, oh, it's not. Yes, it's a self-contained story, but the world they built, it's very easy for them to do more. So
100%.
For sure.
And for them to do spin-offs. Jordan Evans, I don't have an issue with the cast, but I still question why they didn't ask the original voice actors for the Mario games to play their roles. Like, even the original voice for Mario was in this. Like the Sonic 2 movie, they got the original voice for Tails. But, Jordan, I feel like you answered...
Came out.
Oh, wait, hold on, because I want to go right back to that, Didge. I want to actually, give that a moment for you to talk about that. Hold on, let me just answer this really quickly. You kind of answered it in what you just said, Jordan. Star power has to lead movies. Chris Pratt is star power, right? Regardless of what people might feel about what's his name that voiced Sonic, right now he is a very hot name. Yes, Ben Schwartz. Thank you.
He's everywhere.
Right, he's a very hot name. So you can't just I know a lot of us want accuracy in every little nook and cranny, but then once you do that, you're isolating people who have never fucking played a Mario game, and you got to get them there. So for a lot of people, it is, oh, I know Chris Pratt. I'm a big fan of Chris Pratt. I'm gonna go watch it for Chris Pratt. Or you know what I'm saying? Oh, I love Jack Black. I'll go watch it for Jack Black.
He was
right. So for me, and to me, I kind of feel like you isolate yourself when you just make everything that neat. Because to me, now that I've seen it, I don't know how I would have felt if anyone else was voicing Luigi except for Charlie Day. I don't know how I would have felt if anyone else was Bowser, because we wouldn't have got the musical number we did if it wasn't Jack Black. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, a lot of this movie, if you isolate it by getting accuracy, you kind of isolate certain things that turned out really well from this movie. So again, I'm not knocking you on wanting accuracy. Trust me, there's a lot of MCU shit that I wish they would go accuracy over big box office. But at the end of the day, I understand they got to sell tickets. And look, this star power that they assembled, it sold a lot of tickets. It worked, you know? So, I mean, I kind of get it. Oh, wait. Let's see his response before I go to kick it to you, Didge. Oh, no, I don't care about accuracy. It's all good. It's just you think they would ask the voices of a series that's been going on for I don't know how many years to reprise their roles. Well, no, they look at it more so as I think even the voice actors themselves understand it's not my time anymore, right? Like they'll probably still come to me to do the video games. I mean, he was in it, so to me, that's the biggest respect. I think a lot of times you get these voice actors that they can't even get in the movie, right? You know what I'm saying? So to me, I think everybody involved was very happy with how everything turned out. And look, it's not like the video games are going to stop being made. So the voice actor goes right back to doing just the video games. So to me, I kind of feel like no one is missing out. The movie was great. You know, if the voices was a thing, I get it. I totally do. But it does not take away from the Mario you know and love. These games will still come out once every 2 or 3 years. So
I love letter to Mario.
I thought it was right. I very much thought it was. They did a lot
of games. To be honest, I mean,
yeah, 100%.
There's so much they still haven't touched either. Like I sat there like pointing things out because there was just so much.
Right.
It was crazy.
Didge, tell us a little bit about that. That interview.
Yeah, we talked with Colleen O'Shaughnessy. She was the voice of Tails, obviously. Got the chance to do it in the movies. And we had actually asked her about that because at the time, like you said, she was one of the very few who was able to voice it in games and then also bring it to basically the big screen. And you could tell speaking with her that how much it really meant to her, because one of the things that she was talking about was that it makes that just because of the nature of Hollywood, it makes sense in order to sell a movie where you're putting 90, 100 million or whatever so in it, that you're going to go for a name that's going to draw people, especially for ones that are for kids, because kids you're going to get based off of the content, but they still got to convince their parents to go. So she was talking about how it's so much easier for a studio to basically be like, well, parents are going to know Chris Pratt, or parents are going to know Ben Schwartz. They're going to know these names. They're going to know Anya Taylor-Joy versus a Charles, and I'm going to butcher his last name, or even a Colleen O'Shaughnessy, because yes, they're good for gamers, but like you were saying, so much it's who does the wide audience get? And that's so much of what film is nowadays. So they sort of understand it. And I don't want to speak for every voice actor. I'm not a voice actor myself or anything, but just from speaking with a number of them, you can tell, obviously, once you're in the business enough, you start knowing, well, this is just the nature of the business. Sure, it sucks, but I'm just going to go for that next role, or I'm going to audition here, audition there. It's sort of, you just got to always stay grinding because it is what it is.
Right. And look, did you make a great point, and this will propel us into a topic we'll talk about a little bit later, but I remember in Didge, because we're so ingratiated in like Star Wars ethos, right? I remember when Rosario Dawson was cast as Ahsoka. There were a lot of people that believe Ashley should have been Ahsoka. And I'm like, but see, that's when it gets dangerous. That's when it's like, well, you have to draw a line, because as much as I love Ashley and she ingratiates everything that Ahsoka stands for, I'd much rather watch Rosario Dawson be Ahsoka in live action than to see Ashley do. I mean, that's just how I feel. It does not take away from any time Ahsoka does anything animated. It'll probably still always be Ashley. So for me, I'm like, I get to have the best of both worlds. I get to have Ashley in my animation, right? Accuracy, and my Rosario in live action. Great, right? So for me, it's like when you start muddying those waters, it's like, all right, well then you're saying that anybody that's ever voiced somebody has to be them in live action, or has to be them in a different counterpart. And it's like, well then that becomes a dangerous game. Joel, could you picture Deadpool 3 starring Ryan Reynolds and what's his name that voices Wolverine and X-Men the animated series. Right? So it's like you gotta draw lines, right? You gotta draw lines. You got
perfect voice, but yes.
Perfect voice, but come on, we're not selling the movie with him.
Video games these days are even bringing in bigger named actors to sell the games. So
right, because they want to tie everything in. So it's like, well, let's bring you in here, so then we can bring it into live action. But no, I appreciate that, Didge, and please make sure you send me that interview so I can put it in the description.
Definitely.
But all right, so I mean, we all enjoyed it. Hopefully, they greenlight part 2 immediately. Hopefully, they greenlight some of those spinoffs that we know that they could easily do.
Super easy.
And look, I said it once. I'm going to say it again, and this is not a spoiler at all. You need to build an Avengers type universe that leads us to Super Smash Bros.
Multiverse.
I mean, it's just like, come on, like it's in your lap, like it's right there for the taking. Let's build.
As a fan of the Smash series, you got my money.
So just don't let that slip through the cracks. All right, this was a success. I believe anything you do with this franchise will be a success. And I look forward to seeing once it gets greenlit that sequel. Who are some of the other actors they bring in to voice other characters?
The smartest announcement they should do next is Zelda, but that's just me.
If they're building that universe, yeah, that'd be very interesting for sure. I will say the one thing that'll be very interesting is Link does not talk. So it's like
in the old cartoons. Yes, there's an old cartoon with Link.
So I'm like, that's going to be very interesting.
I mean, but isn't there text going across the screen? I mean, technically, it's
no. Well, remember, the text is only for us because if you didn't have the text, it would essentially just be nothing. So it's like the text is for us. I don't know if that means that we're supposed to take it as that. Jamie, welcome in, Jamie. What's going on, Jamie?
Right here. Much. Sorry, I'm late. I made some dinner and
would you make us?
Clean up.
Would you make us?
I mean, get back to me on that one. Get back to me.
We'll Uber Eats whatever you made. Don't worry. We'll get it delivered. But no. So, hey, I'll pay it if it's good. I'll pay it. I don't care. I even let the driver eat some of it. Anyway, Jamie, so we'll go to you for this. We were talking about our non-spoiler, just overall thoughts on the Super Mario Bros. Movie. And the last thing we were talking about that Trayvon was right, you would be the person to tell us. Trayvon said if they were to build a Super Smash Bros. Universe, he believes the first thing that they should start off with is multiverse. I'm sorry, multiverse is Legend of Zelda. And I said, well, what would be a little difficult about that, or would be interesting, not difficult, would be interesting to see how they utilize it is Link don't talk. So it's like, do you now just tell us he talks now? Because I ain't playing another Legend of Zelda game and that motherfucker don't talk. If I watch him talk in that movie.
You ain't playing if he did talk.
I played the last one. What are you talking about?
Did you finish it? How far did you get?
No. You said you didn't play it.
I played it. Everyone said to play it, and then you stopped.
So what does that mean? I played it.
You barely played it.
I played it. My hands touched the buttons.
I think that was your only Zelda game.
You can't have an opinion.
Yes, that was the only Zelda game.
That's what I mean.
I can't have the opinion on what? That he should be talking?
Yes, you can't do that.
You don't
have that's interesting. Hold on, no. Is that our standard here? That we can't have opinions unless we finish what we're talking about?
Look, I ain't got no opinion on Horizon. I don't think I'm finishing that.
I'm just saying, if that's a standard we have,
like that. Time out, not too much Horizon.
I'm just saying, there's a Secret Invasion series coming up, and I know certain people ain't read that comic series. So if we draw the line there,
come on now.
What's the
medium we're talking about?
All right, exactly, yeah. So anyway, Jamie,
time out. No, not too much on Horizon. No, we're not just gonna skip past that. Not too much on that.
I didn't say that bad guys. I don't think I'm finishing it. That's all I said.
No, the way you said, I don't think I'm finishing it. Your eyes got all big. You did this with it.
You did say it a little petty.
Nobody does this when their eyes get big and they don't mean some shade with it.
All right, to kick it over to you, Jamie, your thoughts on the movie overall, and then your thoughts on if Legend of Zelda was to be the next one in line, how do you think they would have to go about it?
Interesting that you asked that. Interesting. But first, my thoughts on the movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. I feel like the critics, for some reason, were expecting this to be some like mind expanding film where like you were gonna change your whole perspective on Mario and like what it means to be a plumber in Brooklyn or some I don't know, some kind of BS. But it's definitely not that kind of film. I don't even think it would really work like that if it was that kind of film. It's very much so like a fan servicey movie where you get to see a lot of your favorites from different Mario franchises, and Mario fight big lizard man and win. Like, that's the that's the premise of Mario, and they accomplished that. I had a lot of fun with it. I feel like my only critique, and I said this in my own review on my channel, is the fact that I feel like they showed a lot in the trailers, because then when I actually like sat down to watch the movie and I thought about like how much I've seen already versus how much I hadn't seen, it was like almost, I won't say they spoiled like everything, but yeah, it was a lot of the film. Granted, it's like an hour 30, so
short. There were no surprise characters or anything. It wasn't like
no, there wasn't a whole lot.
Also,
of
remember, Jamie, because you weren't there, I don't want AJ to get spoiled. He hasn't seen it yet, so we're trying to like skirt around that.
Right.
Because Juwan didn't give you any heads up on that. He was just gonna let you just spoil it for AJ.
I said non-spoiler.
Mario
said non-spoiler thoughts.
Everyone
That's how I started it.
But
I don't know, man.
No, but yeah, I think this is a really fun film, and it's definitely one of my favorite animated films of the year so far. It's set a pretty high bar for video game movies as well, as far as the accuracy goes, and maybe not so much like plot wise, but as far as just being faithful to the IP and the characters and having the little nods and stuff. I think they did a great job with it. And it's one of the highest grossing films this year, I think, so far. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it's pretty good. I'd say
it's
a
long way since the 90s Mario movie.
Right.
$1,500,000,000.
Yeah, I definitely encourage people to go see it. And also, AJ, if you didn't know, there is a mid-credit scene and a post-credit scene.
Correct.
The mid-credit scene, not too important. It's just funny. The post-credit scene is pretty interesting, though. So I definitely recommend people check that out.
Very cool.
And then your thoughts on if Legends of Zelda were to be approached.
It's funny that you ask this, because I actually saw a rumor. Now, I feel like this is kind of, take it with a grain of salt. It sounds kind of wild to me, but there is a rumor that Henry Cavill is in talks for a possible Legend of Zelda movie, which I know is like, that seems
animated. What's animated, right? So I mean,
we don't know that.
I don't know. I mean, I would hope so, but
I will say, if I go from Link going from no talking to sound like Henry Cavill, that's a win. I mean, that's as much of a win as you can get. I mean, because can't nobody say, well, that's not what Link should sound like. Do you know what Link should sound like?
I feel like if
a little younger than he sounds, what Henry sounds at least.
If they
how do we know that? How is that a factual statement?
I guess it depends on the story,
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, if we've never heard him speak, I mean, he can fucking sound like anything.
Scream. He does kind of say a word in Spanish when he does his move.
In Spanish?
He says a word.
In Spanish?
Not in Spanish. I didn't say Spanish. In Spanish.
I thought you just said... I thought you said in Spanish.
I thought he said Spanish too.
See?
I
heard Joel. Words in Spanish.
His up special. He said a word.
I have been like going back and playing Breath of the Wild in anticipation for Tears of the Kingdom, and like when he's cooking, he does go like, and it sounds like, I don't know, like pretty similar to, I guess, the grunts and the yells and stuff. So I guess kind of a, not necessarily like a deep Henry Cavill like voice. I wouldn't expect that for Link, but who knows? Maybe Henry Cavill will put on a performance of a lifetime. I don't know.
We just finished
talk a lot either, though, right? So I mean,
the who?
The Witcher, he kind of didn't talk. Like
Witcher talked a
He
lot.
talks
He-
more than the
Witcher-
nun
saying,
Link
but-
talks.
The Witcher in the game,
Like you
didn't
know
have
he
accent,
sounds.
which
You
is
know what he
very
sounds
funny.
like. He speaks full sentences. He just doesn't
You
like
know what
talk
Link?
on and
You hear
on.
the
You know?
yeah and stuff like that. You hear that?
Yeah, I mean, but yelling could be
I
different.
know
than,
more
like,
what the
speaking.
weapons sound like than I know what the fuck Link sounds like.
I mean,
Yeah.
But
You hear that?
anyway.
You better use that to figure out what he sounds like.
Yeah.
Like, hey, everybody, my name's Link. But there is that
Don't put
rumor.
that
I
out
feel
there,
like
Mike. They might cast him.
it's pretty out there, but I could honestly, there are starting to be like sounds like Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Somebody
Yeah.
wrote that down, and they're about to call him
They'll
now.
cast
They're all over the place. That was an old
Mm,
fan
please
cast.
Somebody was
don't
like, "Oh,
do
yep,
that.
perfect."
But I feel like there are more animated shows of late that have like main characters that don't speak or don't necessarily like speak a lot. Ranking of Kings is a anime about this boy who is deaf who's like going through this adventure, so he doesn't really speak too much either, and the show is amazing. You just have to rely more on these like secondary characters and like co-stars to help like deliver the message that the main character is trying to do. So I think they could have Link not speak, but I do also feel like if it was animated, that would definitely help smooth things over. Especially because you can have like super exaggerated expressions. So even if he's not speaking, like Schnitzel never said a word, but I knew exactly what that man was saying at all times in Chowder. So as long as you like exaggerate what the character is like thinking
Or-
with their face or like body
Or do you-
language, you can get it across.
Do you think this is a way they could go? Again, I don't really know that they would, but if you wanted to, because obviously you're seeing it a lot more now, there's a market for deaf characters. To have him sign, he could sign. You could have a character that's like in every scene with him that kind of relays what he's saying, but he could sign. I mean, we saw it with, obviously it's not a main character, but we saw it with The Last of Us. Character talked in the game, signed in the show, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, to me, I'm like, see, thank you, Mike. Mike is essentially saying it right now. Right. That's what I was just speaking to, Mike.
Dude was talking at the time. He had a fairy, so she did all the talking.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You have something with him that speaks, so it's kind of that buffer. But he signs. To me, I think that would be perfectly fine. There's an audience. There's an audience for that, and I think you can market that more so than just flat out having him talk, and then people go play the game and it's like he doesn't talk or any of that shit.
He just never,
Doing
he
so.
has
It's not like
conversations
voice.
with people, and he make the decision. So I mean, they have to.
Yeah.
They don't either see a word bubble or he said something. Like, so that's what I mean. Like,
Right.
Yeah,
So yeah, I don't think that's a
it's
hot
tough.
take, Mike. I think that's actually a way to kind of bridge the gap of that, to where you don't have to drastically change the character's ability to talk. You just have him signing, and whether it's the fairy or whatever is always with him and conveys that to us of what he's actually saying. So yeah, I definitely like that, Mike. I definitely like that.
Yeah.
All right,
But
Trayvon.
as far as like,
Oh, go ahead, Jamie.
oh,
I'm sorry. No. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, as far as like the next Nintendo movie that they would do in like the Smash Bros universe or multiverse or whatever you want to call it, I feel like Zelda probably would be next, since a lot of people are talking about it, and Zelda is also a pretty big franchise for Nintendo, so it's possible. It's very possible.
I do know AJ wanted Kirby next, so I'm all game for Kirby. Legend.
Kirby's another one that doesn't talk.
Yeah, I thought so. I don't remember.
They
him
did,
talking.
Didge. I see that. No, Kirby does not talk, which would be another interesting thing.
He had a cartoon, and I don't remember how they managed to get around that, but
Because there was a human with Kirby, I believe, a human, or there was another. There were other characters that would talk.
there was a lot of characters.
For
I'm
Kirby.
about to go check.
So I'm like, there's a way to do it, but again, I don't need Kirby to talk the same way Link doesn't have to talk. You just got to have somebody there that talks for them. Like somebody there has to be talking.
At the same time, I wouldn't mind if Link talked, but I feel like it would go over better for like the general Zelda fandom if he didn't talk. So
Just to
Well,
hear the
then
bitching
that's
about the
where
voice,
it comes down
I'll
to:
do it.
are you interested in appeasing them, or your larger market that you got to go get to sit down and talk in this movie? Appreciate you, Trayvon. Donkey Kong doesn't talk either, yet here we are. There are different iterations of Donkey Kong that did talk. I think didn't he have an animated show or some shit where he talked?
Yeah, he did. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, Link was in an animated show and he talked. That's what I mean. There, back in the day, everybody got a little bit of shine.
Right.
mhm.
So I'm like, yeah, okay. So there we go. All right. So let's move to our
Kirby definitely isn't
next.
talking in this cartoon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Kirby doesn't. Kirby,
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you.
I wasn't
Kirby's
sure.
motto was eat, fuck shit up, go to sleep. Eat, fuck shit up,
Right.
go to sleep. There's no time to talk. Like, there's just no time to talk. None whatsoever. But I will say, though, if there's one character
Oh,
that
I
can
lied. He just
outshine
said-
Bowser, it would be King Dedede. So
Yeah.
I would really love to see King Dedede in the anime on the big screen.
Rule.
I would love it. Fucking love it.
Mm.
All right. Let's move on to our next topic. All
Never
right,
seen
Trayvon. Floor is yours.
Did you see how big his smile got that quickly? Yo, that was
Oh man, let me tell you. Okay. I have it looping literally right here. I'm like, it's looping beside me right now. I'm so excited for this because finally we got something from this movie. They've just been talking about it. We've heard leaks. I'm like, yes, finally. And pretty much all the stuff we've heard sounds pretty confirmed based off of this trailer.
Yeah.
I'm excited. So Monica's in space now. That's cool. I'm happy to see that. It's very interesting that their powers intertwine like this. The thing that after I watched it about 10 times, I started seeing a few things. I was like, wait, so it seems like when Carol shows up in the Khan household, then it's the first time she sees Monica. Because when she's like, hi, it's like almost like a, oh shit, you're here. Like almost like I was like, huh. So is this the first time you guys are meeting? Like, what is y'all beef? Like, what is like I want to know that. I'm really excited to understand how y'all get from that to teaming up like you are at the end of this, or in the ship together, smiling and stuff. Like, I really need to know how you got from there. They teased me a little bit with it looked like either somebody switched or Monica's jumping out of something to catch somebody. I'm like, okay, so is this her moment? She gonna fly right here? Like, don't play with me. So I was like, when she gonna fly now? Kara can be the only one flying around. Okay, just sorry, that's not, it's unacceptable. So I love Kamala's like the way she's so excited. It just that she's gonna steal the movie. I know she is. It's just when Nick Fury, she's like, oh hi, it's fine. I'm in space, probably gonna die, but hi, it's the Avengers test. Like I was just like, come on, like that's great. I'm wondering about just seeing Monica's powers, and to give us like a few glimpses of that in here. I'm just so excited. I don't know, man. It's just, oh man, this movie right here, I can't believe they pushed it back. I'm pissed off, man. Like, I need it. I need it. Yeah, you're right. Listen, look, when I saw her fly this shit, when I saw her jump out there, I was like, wait a minute, is this where she's gonna fly? Although I don't think anyone flew.
It
in
was
this
so
trailer.
funny to watch it. I died laughing watching the trailer because of that.
Nobody
So I was like, yo, we were right. There was
We
Nobody
manifested it, Didge. We manifested it.
Nobody flew.
So wait, so hold on. So I'm gonna go right back to you, Trayvon. For our listeners out there, we were joking. We did say it would be hilarious if not one fucking person flew in this upcoming trailer. We did not know anything about this trailer, so the fact that no one was flying was very interesting.
I was like halfway through it, like, is it gonna happen? Is it really not gonna be any flying?
No flying, none. But no, I really wanted to say this, Trayvon. They do say in the official synopsis, they do classify Carol and Monica's relationship as Monica being the estranged niece of Carol. So we know this beef has been going on since fucking WandaVision. It would be nice to finally hear what her fucking beef is.
They have to talk about it. I mean, they got no choice
I mean,
now.
if you're telling us in the synopsis, estranged niece, yeah, you you got to tell us something there. You got to tell us something there. Does
No,
not
it does
having
not.
gravity
No,
count as flying,
no.
Javon? Because Monica didn't
No.
have gravity, so
No,
she was
absolutely
floating
not.
in a direction.
Absolutely not. Flying is an ability. I need you to show me that is flying, and not you floating in space.
not floating.
No.
Got it.
Not enough
Yeah,
for
not
age-
floating in
for
clouds
Javon.
either.
All right.
No. Yeah.
All right.
So I just want to say, like, that's what I'm excited about. And at the end, I honestly thought they were fighting evil Carol till I watched it a whole bunch of more times, and I was like, oh, it's that lady with the hammer thing. Okay.
Mhm.
And then you see the bracelet on her arm or bangle. It looks like the same one Kamala has. I was like, okay. So I'm curious on. They really got to explain how they get entangled, because I was like, yeah, but how? Like, y'all energy don't come from the same places, or do it? Like, I need to understand why you guys are entangled, not just because we know all Marvel adjacent, Captain Marvel adjacent. We know that, but why you three in particular? Yeah. So, that's pretty much all I got right now. I mean, I'm excited for it. I mean, I would have been even more excited. I did cut out of my reaction at when we got to the last part, and they were like, had to use that like a little post credit scene. I was waiting for just a shot of them just flying off together or something. I was, but I cut that part out because I wanted to play me. But anyway, so yeah. That's
Joel, this is a question for you.
Yeah, Darben. That's the girl with the hammer that you were talking about.
Okay, I knew you knew. That's what I'm saying.
Man.
That's why I went to you. I knew you knew.
Yeah.
Ronan said he was gonna come back, right? Didn't what he say? He said, "I'm gonna come back in her movie."
No, Ronan is that took place in the 80s. Ronan is dead present.
Ronan is dead.
That was
He's
90s.
dead present day.
Well,
90s, sorry,
he
90s,
said-
90s.
He said somebody. He said he was come back for the.
He
girl
did say
or
that, but he also died after
So-
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
was
he
gonna say
never-
he died.
he
Yeah,
died in
he
Guardians.
never got that opportunity. Yeah, he never
The
got that.
Guardians killed him.
He died in the dance off. That man went out horribly.
Well,
But
to your point, you were right. He did say it though. I'll give you that.
no, he did. Yeah, he did say it, but did not get to live it out. AJ, I want to go to you next, AJ.
Oh, can I say one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's hurtful how many people did not watch the first Captain Marvel. Grow up and watch it. All right. Anyway, yep, that's it. That's all. That's all I say.
Sure.
People
yeah.
play that movie too much.
What happened?
That movie was great.
Oh, see,
Yeah,
I mean, now you're okay. See, I was with you.
That's
AJ,
what I said.
I know you do, and that's why I love you. You cannot be moved on your opinions. Ronan, no, he said Roman. See, it's going around.
No.
It's contagious.
Roman.
No,
Ronan
auto,
went
that
out like the
was
dude
autocorrect.
in
Mm,
Megan.
Megan.
Shut up. Maybe my mouth has autocorrect. Shut up, Didge. Ronan went out like that dude in Megan.
hope so.
Died after
I
getting
get
danced
it
on.
now.
You know what? I gotta say, Ronan went out worse because Quill can't dance. At least Megan was hitting. She was hitting that shit. Quill couldn't dance. That was the last thing you saw before you died. Is whatever the fuck that was. Quill. He was like hip thrusting and shit. Oh, what the fuck that was? Yeah. The last thing I see before it can't be hip thrusting like that. No, fuck that. You gotta kill me some other way. That can't be the last thing I see. But AJ, what were your thoughts on the first official teaser trailer for the Marvels?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I did have a few questions on how they keep like transporting from each other after they use their powers. I hope that we get answers for that. And the same question that Trayvon had is, why is Monica mad at Carol for? Those are the two main questions that I want to figure out during the movie. I do like that we are getting Carol's half sister as the villain, to be honest, which is Lori. So I can't wait to see them interact with each other. And that's about it, basically. I really did like it. It was hilarious. I love the rift between that you get between all the powers and how they teleport. And the moment that Carol came back and she says, "Not again," was hilarious to me. So the comedic aspect is going to be great in this movie as always. The action looks great in it as well. So yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm completely with you. Kamala, this movie feels like it needed Kamala. Her brand of humor is just amazing. When she kind of teleports in front of whatever the fuck that stupid ass cat is, her general response was just
Why you coming
beautiful.
at Goose like that?
Yeah, fuck Goose. Fucking ruined Fury's eye with the fucking cat. Fuck that cat. But anyway.
That's a cat's fault. The writer's
It
fault.
is a cat's fault. Fuck the cat. If cats didn't exist, wouldn't have had that. But anyway,
It's not a cat,
I loved
though.
her general.
It's flirking.
It's not
It's
a
a
cat.
flirking cat. It's a cat the same way fucking Rocket is a raccoon. Okay, but
Rocket
anyway,
is a raccoon.
anyway, fuck that cat up. Anyway, her general reaction was awesome. I love that we get Kamala's family back. To me, it's like they're all one. For me, to me that's a package deal. I need them all to come. You know, so the fact that they all are there was awesome. I loved Fury looking at fucking Kamala. Like, what the fuck? Like, there's a reason why Fury sent a Skrull to deal with Peter Parker. Hey, that motherfucker don't deal with kids. He don't do that shit. So this is gonna be so much fun to see Fury have to deal with a child. You guys made the great point of, mainly because you would have thought, if you're telling me in the synopsis that Carol considers her to be her niece, you would have thought they would have been excited to team up with each other. The fact that their first words in that trailer were, "Oh no, we're not fucking team. No, this is absolutely not." So I just can't wait to see how everything pans out. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and that's really all I'm looking for. It's just for it to be a lot of fun. Let's see. There we go. It's the same feel as the Miss Marvel show, but on the big screen. I like that they kept the same feel. Yeah, it feels like any scene with Kamala is going to feel exactly like what the show gave us. And I also love Carol's new suit. At certain points, I want these suits to stop changing as rapidly as they do. But I love this suit. I thought I wouldn't like her growing her hair back, but I do love this here. I'm curious if they bring back I didn't see the mask at all in the trailer. I wonder if they bring back the mask.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I hope they.
Because I'm like,
I don't think you get the mask anymore.
I don't mind. I was just about to say, I love when she goes binary without it. I was just curious. Is that a decision of you didn't want to use the mask anymore? Is she just like, fuck it? I mean, I'm just curious.
To be fair,
she needed it, right? Before.
Wait, hold on. Both of y'all were speaking at the same time. Joe, I'll go first. Go ahead. What did you say?
I was just agreeing with Trayvon. What you got?
Oh shit! Well then, Trayvon, you go first. Then what did you say?
I just said before she needed it. Now she knows she can do all kind of shit in space without anything.
Well, that was my issue, because like you kind of needed it to breathe in space, but at the end of the last movie, she's fucking floating in space without it. So I was like, all right, fine, cool. She don't need it.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, I agree with you guys. I didn't need the mask. I want to see her go binary without it. Because the shit just looks super
the look
Saiyan,
of her
so.
when she goes binary with it, though.
The argument's here. They bring it back. Great. They don't. I would like to see her look like a Super Saiyan without it. Jamie, I'll go to you next. What did you think about the trailer for the Marvels?
Honestly, kind of mixed. Nothing that I saw. Hold on, Trayvon. Nothing that I saw. I know he immediately snapped her out. Nothing that I saw was like bad or anything, but I feel like I have the same. It's interesting that DJ Vinny kind of brought up like having the feeling of I think it was you saying the Miss Marvel show in general or just the trailer? Either way, I feel like when the trailer dropped for this Marvel show, I was like, ooh, I don't know about this. But then when I actually watched the show, I was like, oh, this is actually really good. So I kind of have that same feeling where I watched the trailer and I was like, ooh, I don't know, but I'll probably like it. So that's why I say I was like, hold on then before you do anything. Like, let me just speak my piece. But yeah, no, I think it looks interesting. The campiness is definitely there, and I'm telling you guys every time, my brand of funny is not the same as everybody else's. So whenever I see that like they're really trying to push like the comedic factor, it always does make me like a little bit worried. But outside of that, I'm with you guys as far as being curious as to what the issue is between Carol and Monica. I feel like they talked about something with her mom before, like Carol like abandoning them or something. I don't know. I feel like
That's
they
what everybody assuming that's what it's about. Her not coming
okay.
back with
Well,
her
my
back.
assumption was her mom died of cancer, so it's a possibility Carol gave off radiation that got her mom sick. And maybe it's just her
Or
blaming.
she maybe could have saved her. Maybe she feel like
Yeah.
Maybe she could have.
That's how I
Right,
feel
right.
like.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know what the beef is there, so I'm curious to see them like expound upon that. And yeah, I don't know. It's cool.
Yeah,
I'm cautiously optimistic as always.
I don't disagree with you on the humor factor. I personally grew up with dark humor, so it's why I don't laugh a lot at certain brands of comedy because it's just not. It doesn't hit me the same. I've lightened up with the MCU throughout the years to where it's like Stark was a great way to start the MCU. A lot of that was very much sarcastic humor, right? So it's like it built up this brand of like, all right, I like this. And then you get Guardians with Rocket, and it's like, okay, I really am starting to like this humor. And then there's just humor that doesn't work in the MCU. There's a lot of it that just does not work. But for me, Miss Marvel was just such a breath of fresh air for me. In terms of the story, in terms of the character, in terms of the humor. So for me, it's like I need that in this movie. And again, like I said, my favorite scene is when she landed in front of Goose and she's just fucking screaming. Like that is hilarious. Like I love that. So for me, I think a lot of where I laugh in this movie will come from probably all the Kamala Khan scenes. Because I don't really know, like Carol's humor in the first one was extremely dry. Obviously that was a decision that they made. That wasn't like, she acted bad or anything. So I don't know how much it'll feel different because again, we haven't really gotten a lot of Carol since that first movie, like individually. So I don't know how much that changes up. And Monica didn't really have much of humor because of the stakes of the situation in WandaVision. So maybe they both might surprise me and both come with a brand of comedy that just blends very well. But my comedy in this movie is definitely looks like it's going to come from Kamala out of these three. Didge, what were your thoughts on this first teaser trailer that you cursed Trayvon with by not having any flight?
It was fun. It was a very fun trailer. I knew I was gonna watch it anyway. I did really like the first Captain Marvel movie. I know a lot of people didn't, so I don't know what to tell them. I like what I like. Whatever.
It's
really
not a
care.
bad movie at all. It's not a bad movie at all. Not at all.
Beyond that, I'm also a really big fan of Brie Larson. I think she's a phenomenal actress. I loved Miss Marvel, so it's like everything going into this. I just needed to see. All I needed this trailer to do was to not turn me off to the movie, and in no way did it do that. Because everything going in, I was just like, all right, I'm already gonna go see this. I'm already excited to go see this. Just don't be bad, and we're here. So there was that. But what I loved the most about the trailer is every time you saw Samuel L. Jackson, he looked so frustrated. He looked so fed up with everything. He looked every bit his age of being an old black man. Every time you saw him, he was just, I know this ain't happening right now. I know this. I know they not here. And it was great to see. So I'm really excited to see this because if we're getting that type of energy from him on top of everything else, I think it'll be a hit.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you mentioned him because
look at him in this picture. Look how he looks.
Yeah,
he does look like the grandfather that the parents dropped the 3-year-old off to, and it's just like, oh my fucking god, yo.
You saw he was like, Monica, what are you doing out there? Damn.
Right.
Why are you out there? Why are you out there? Wow. And
When they pulled up to her house, he looked so fed up having to be there. Like,
right. And this is gonna give us something that I do want to see more of. We got a lot of it, obviously, from Peter's arc with Tony. I do want to see more of these kids geeking out that they're in the same room as an Avenger, right? Like, I mean, Miss Marvel gets to actually fight with Captain Marvel. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you know that's going to be so much fun to see her joy. Fury is done with all this. Skrulls, now this shit. This is why he left for so long. Yeah, that is. Like I said, there's a reason why he was not with Peter. Like, physically with Peter. He said, fuck all that. He said, no. Talos, get your ass down here and do this shit. I ain't fucking doing it. You got a kid, right? Yeah, you know how it is. Come fucking do this shit. Joel, what were your thoughts on this teaser trailer?
I really enjoyed it. I was very excited. I loved everything I saw in it. I forgot to mention it earlier, but Trayvon was saying, I'm like, basically a lot of what we heard did show up in this trailer, so that's pretty cool that some of the rumors were true. But everything I've seen so far looks really fun. Like, I really enjoyed Ms. Marvel, so like does have the same kind of feel as that. And I like the actresses and the characters, and I look forward to seeing all the questions you guys are asking. I have the same questions, so I'm very curious how they answer all those questions. And other characters that they probably, we still don't even know half of probably what the other characters showing up in this movie. So I'm just very curious how it all fits together and how it leads, what comes next afterwards. But obviously I'll worry about that when we get there. But I'm looking forward to seeing how the story plays out.
Yep. 100%. Mike, round this out. What were your thoughts on this teaser trailer?
Oh shit, Mike's here. What's up, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
Mikael.
Mike?
Hi there. Hello.
Oh, okay, there you go. Okay.
This trailer looks great.
Okay, I see you here.
Can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. The trailer, it looks great. It looks fun. It's everything that I would want from a Marvel teaser trailer. It hit me with the jokes. It hit me with the action. I got to see these characters that I really love. Like, I love Captain Marvel. I love Rambo. I love Miss Marvel. Even though I didn't necessarily love everything about the Captain Marvel movie, Brie Larson is great. She's just terrific. And I think it's kind of the Thor effect, where I'm hoping Nia DaCosta comes in with this film and just kind of like revitalizes the Captain Marvel franchise. Because I feel like if this trios that we have going forward, they might be the cornerstones of the MCU, along with whatever Spider-Man's doing. Like, that's how big I think the Marvels can potentially be if they hit it. And it feels like they're on the right track.
Yeah, and look, this is our first step in kind of just ingratiating Captain Marvel more so into things, right? Because like I said, you get her movie, feels like she's in like 3 seconds of Endgame, and then it's just nothing essentially, right?
Moment, though.
No, for sure. Again, that's nothing against the character. It's just she's so powerful. You couldn't have had her throughout the entirety of that movie, because a lot of that shit you kind of just have Carol do it. Like, we're all risking our lives. Have Carol do it. She could just do all of this, right? So to me, it's like, how do you like put her more so into the mix to where you don't have to sideline her so much? You know what I'm saying?
In a movie where she can't use her powers.
No, don't flash me. Don't CW me. No,
that's what
just
they're
make
doing.
the villain
That's what
stronger.
they're doing in this
Like, just make the villain stronger. Don't make my hero weaker.
Powers.
No. Trayvon's saying in order to put her in everything, you would have to dull her power. I'm saying no.
I'm saying this movie here, they're making it so they can't use their powers, or they'll start swapping, and then so it's a way to stop them from using their powers a lot in this movie.
Oh, I don't think we're gonna get that at all. I think you're gonna get a lot of their instincts of no, motherfucker, I fight them using it and then keep swapping. That swap thing, I don't think is gonna be like a few times. That's gonna be I think it's gonna be a lot of that movie.
Even in that battle with the villain, they're doing at the end.
Right. That's when they're more in control of kind of knowing where it's going to kind of place you, because you're all in close quarters.
Right. coordinate, I guess.
Right, how to structure it better. Right. I just want to see more Captain Marvel. You got a really massive name to play this character, and I feel like I haven't seen her enough since she debuted. So here's to hoping we just get a lot more stories that can pull her in. Because like Mike said, Brie Larson's freaking awesome. I'd like to see more. You know, I'd just like to see a lot more. Instead of having to wait till every Captain Marvel or Avengers movie just to see her, like put her in something. There could be something else. She, you know, co-stars in or whatever the hell. Just give me more Captain Marvel. All right, let's move on. Let's see here. Actually, no, we're gonna go right here first. Right here. I feel like it's gonna take the longest. All right, Star Wars Celebration recap. Last weekend. Last weekend was a shit ton. Hey,
wait.
The way you was excited for Ahsoka, you agree. Come on, stop it. You agree. Enough. You agree.
Until this trailer was announced, sure.
I need this
Yeah.
Trayvon Didge fight though.
Like, what is that?
We all came.
Everybody, the real reason why we all showed up to work today, Star Wars Celebration. A ton of news and stories have come out.
Oh, man.
All right. No, all jokes aside, a ton of stuff has come out. We got a bunch of news. Hold on, I'm trying to find the photo I sent Trayvon so we could.
I'm going to be completely honest. Y'all can be mad at me.
No, I'm not.
I don't remember a single thing that happened at Star Wars Celebration. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I
mean, that's fine. My point is to bring it up. My point is to bring it back up. That's no problem. Trayvon, you could bring this up first that I just sent
I am
you.
also still mad at you though.
I understand.
Oh, Mike. All right, Mike. I'm like, what did I do?
Like understood.
Yeah, I sent it. I sent it, Trayvon.
No, it's already in here.
Oh yeah, it is already in there. I was just saying that was the one that I wanted. I didn't know how to tell you which Ahsoka one I wanted. Y'all are getting cursed tonight by Trayvon. Yeah, y'all are. Yeah, y'all are. Yeah, y'all are. But
Not me.
let's start off with Ahsoka. We got our first official trailer for Ahsoka. We also know it comes out in August, right?
Yep.
August is a great month. Don't you feel like that, Joel?
I do. It's a great.
It's just a month of champions, right?
The
Yeah, I
best
think it's the
month
greatest month ever. I agree.
of all
Yeah,
of them.
it's okay.
I think September is, but you know.
No one.
I'm more partial
likes
to
September.
July, but you know.
You gotta
Apple
go back
drops
to
stuff in
school.
September,
We're
so
right
you
in the middle
know.
between those
It's
two.
good.
It takes
The
quite
only
a
good
dip.
thing about
that's all.
September is that one Earth, Wind, and Fire song. That's it. That's all you.
I
need.
mean,
Nah.
that is still very good though. Like,
It's not better than Ahsoka. It's not better than Ahsoka. So how about-
Beyonce is born in September.
you don't know. that.
I
She
was
lies a
born
lot.
in
You don't know.
September.
That's the beginning
who
of
cares? Yeah, who
the
cares?
death
No.
of nature. So it's
Right.
fine.
Yeah. Thank you, Joel. Thank you. Anyway, all right. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it
the
back.
great month of July. That's the month.
Because no one cares. That's why.
My
Right,
mom
no
was
one
Take
born
it
in
easy.
July, so I agree. I agree.
All right, all
Not too
jokes
much in
aside,
July.
guys, we did get our first trailer for Ahsoka, where we get a better look on what this story is about, the characters we can expect to see in it. As you can see here, we finally have our confirmation. Hera is indeed in this show. Mary, what's her name again? Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Mhm.
Isn't it technically because she just got married? Did she change it, or is it just?
Man,
I don't
his
know
whole
if she
family
changed
is in Star Wars.
Yeah, you
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Ewan McGregor. They got married.
They did. I don't know if she
Oh.
took the name, or she probably did, but you
I
know,
don't think-
like,
I'm pretty sure
Um,
professionally she's probably gonna stay
right.
the same.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I will say this: you know, Ewan McGregor had that shit in the marriage contract. Hey, you gotta keep this Star Wars shit going. I don't know how much longer they can pull me to do it, so you hop in this shit.
He got his
But
daughter in there. He's good.
he did get his daughter in there too. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Word.
So we do have Hera. Obviously, we have the amazing Chopper. Anyone who has seen the recent episodes of The Mandalorian knows that we have Zeb. Obviously, Trayvon is the only one that this is news for, but we have Ezra. He was casted. We do have Ezra. The whole. Yes, it's right there. That's why I put up this photo first. Like, it's literally right there. I don't know what else about this casting confuses. He's right there.
That's funny.
But
Has that been confirmed?
He promoted.
you're looking at him. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell. I'm sorry. He's right there.
Oh.
He is right there. That is all the confirmation you need. Anyway, this story looks amazing. I'm sorry. I've gone over this twice with Trayvon since the trailer.
Worst every time. Worst every time.
It stresses me. Anyway, AJ, what were your thoughts on this trailer? I gotta cool down. AJ, what were your thoughts on this Ahsoka trailer?
It was perfect. It was a perfect little teaser. Love seeing the group back together. Seeing Ezra, seeing Sabine, Hera, Copper.
AJ, they're saying you're screaming.
Huh?
Did just trying to say you were coming in very loud.
You're a little bit loud.
I'm not screaming at all.
But you're coming in loud.
I don't know what to do on that one.
Yeah, back up off your mic a little bit.
You know what? Time out. You know what it is, AJ? You know what it is? We're so used to when you talk, it's like a light whisper that now it seems so amplified. And we're just, it's stressing us. Right. But go ahead. Continue, AJ.
I don't have a mic near me. So, okay.
Oh.
Do you have your headset on?
I have nothing on. It's just my computer.
Is your mouth on the speaker?
No.
Well, lean back a little bit and finish telling us what you thought about the Ahsoka.
I don't know how far I can lean back. But.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
You're good now.
Yeah, you're fine.
I lowered
ahead,
his
go ahead,
audio.
brother.
There you go.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, that was it. I already said everything.
AJ, why do you let us put you through all that if you were done? I thought you had more to say. All right, well, AJ, talk a little bit about this. I wanted to bring this up for you. Talk a little bit about this. We also got this confirmation at Star Wars Celebration.
It's not in high def.
Yeah,
it's not, but I can't find one in high def. So
I couldn't either. I tried to look. No, I tried.
Yeah, I couldn't find one.
So took a low definition of it.
I agree, but it was the only one I could find, and I spent all day trying to find it.
I hate it too.
But talk a little bit about AJ, who this is playing Thrawn.
Who's playing Thrawn?
Lars Mikkelsen.
AJ knows who's playing Thrawn, Joel. Don't entertain him. How excited are you that we get to see Thrawn in live action, and it is actually played by the guy who voiced him?
Correct.
Mr. Lars Mikkelsen. Yep, I love it. It's great to see him finally in live action, especially since I read every single one of Thrawn's novels. So it's good to see him
Nice.
in live action and animated. So to finally get that, it's pretty fun to see. But yeah.
Now we talked about this, AJ, me, you, and Didge. I want to kind of loop this in for the general audience, but we do know from the Thrawn books that he does have Yalamari that are his pets, and they're essentially force deflectors. Do you think we'll get the Yalamari in Ahsoka, or do you think they'll just focus just on Thrawn?
Yeah, I think they're just focused on Thrawn for now. The Yalamari were only introduced in the Legend novels, so I think that they'll just focus on him instead of having him with the Yalamari. So
I say this: if they don't have it here, I have no problem. But I kind of feel like if Thrawn is your big bad in this movie that Dave Filoni is going to be doing, that I assume is going to have Luke alongside Ahsoka and Din Djarin and Boba and Fennec and everybody. That's an overwhelming amount of Force users. it's like you kind of need something to kind of get a leg up.
well, it's only two. It's only two.
No, I assume.
Looking there.
All right, Mike. I assume Ezra will be there, right? I mean, unless they kill him in this show, which would be
So
weird.
Luke, Ahsoka, and Ezra. It's three. But
Right, but I'm saying that's a lot of Force users against your army that has none.
Well,
So I'm like, you might need them. Yeah, well, again,
that,
yes,
but-
right. That's an assumption. Right.
Maybe
Didge, what
Ezra's on his side.
would you say, Trayvon?
I said maybe Ezra's on his side.
I mean, that could be. It could. We have no idea the state of Ezra. We know for a fact Ezra dabbles in the dark side. It's something that just pulls to him.
Sounds fun.
Okay, all right, okay, Didge. Didge, who are your thoughts
Yeah.
on the Ahsoka trailer?
I loved it. I've watched the trailer many a times now. August can't get here first soon enough. We can stop in July, for my birthday, then hit to August. But
Straight through.
no.
July is San Diego Comic
Oh,
Con,
and
too, so-
DreamCon.
And DreamCon. I got a lot going on in July, so we can stop there. Then let's get to Ahsoka. It looks great. One of the things that you and I were talking about, I think AJ was there too, when we were talking about the lightsabers,
Mhm.
the orangish lightsabers. I like the look of that because it does take it back to the original trilogy.
It does.
and-
Yep.
What was great was Dave Filoni basically said like that was intentional. He remembers that as a kid, so he wanted to have that look. And I think if we're doing it with something as small as just the lightsaber for, I don't know who these characters are gonna like, how much they're gonna be in this series, but if you're
Mhm.
going that small just for that detail, I think that's gonna be the mark of how great that this series is going to be. So I
100%.
am really excited.
And this could be Didge with these Jedi. Another reason it could be orange is depending on when you bled your crystal, because they're not Sith. You know what I'm saying? So that's the biggest thing for me is that they're not Sith. So it's like, are they fallen Jedi? Because one of them is still a Padawan. So it's like she's obviously relatively new. It's not like she's been around since Order 66.
Right.
So was this somebody that that maybe as a baby he saved during Order 66 and has raised her? And he's loyal to Thrawn. Because to me, his armor looks like Old Republic armor. That's not armor you've ever seen between Phantom Menace and where we are today, or where they are in that timeline.
Right.
So I'm very curious about them, but going orange is really cool. Just to symbolize that there's other colors, right? It's just other color lightsabers.
Well, to what he was saying, also, it was great to know, even if you're looking outside of, it harkens back to the original trilogy and how the VFX were then. It also basically tells you, well, they're not fully dark, I guess is the best way to put it, because it's not stark red. You don't see this blood red lightsaber. So there's some lightness, I guess, to them. So it creates just another layer to the story of, well, what does that mean? And he specifically told you, like, yeah, there is a specific reason. Obviously, again, outside of the visual reasons, there's a story reason why I did this too. And I always love a good mystery into story, because now it's just another layer to uncapture.
Yeah, and we know Mace Windu's lightsaber being purple isn't just obviously because Samuel asked for it. There is a story behind why it's purple.
Right.
Mace Windu has used, or not used, but has taken a lot of I was going to say negative energy, but not negative energy, dark force energy. And he kind of dabbles in it a little bit. Obviously not fully enough to not still be a Jedi, but there's a lot that goes into his lightsaber being purple. So I'm just very interested in it. I'm interested in the fact that she is a Padawan. That really caught me off guard. Shout out to you guys out there that caught the Padawan braid. We've only really seen it in live action with Anakin. So if you've watched the animation, you've seen it with Ahsoka.
The Padawan braid?
Yeah.
Obi-Wan.
Oh yeah, Obi-Wan did have it. I forgot.
Yeah, for sure.
His age was just like, still a Padawan? Like, what are you doing
He's an
wrong?
old Padawan.
Yeah, that's what's like, what are you doing wrong here? But yeah, so anyone knows that it's a rite of passage. You get it cut off and you become full Jedi. Jedi Knight, technically, I believe. Right, AJ? When you become a Jedi Knight?
Yes, Padawan, then you're a trainee. So after that is Jedi Knight, yeah.
Yeah, because Master is the ultimate level. that Anakin was trying to get to before he just said, you know what, fuck it, I'll kill you.
I'm sorry.
Uh,
I need,
go ahead,
lightning.
Trayvon. From who?
I need lightning. So I need to be
He's
evil.
saying the dark
I
side
need
of the force. He
lightning,
wants
yeah.
so he can do
Oh,
force
you're
lightning.
saying you want evil. I mean, you want. Okay, I thought you were saying a character. I'm like, well, no one here should have force lightning. Because there's no Sith.
Let's change that up.
Well, there's no Sith.
Well, it depends
like,
on-
there's no one to have taught them.
To be well, we don't know what these guys know from. If we're saying that light or that armor is armor that we've never seen before, we don't know what their full story
Oh
is.
yeah, if they come out of, because I know someone's theory was when Ahsoka was going through time,
Right.
he kind of came with her. But I don't know how much I like that. I think I like that as little as Joel does. If like we get Secret Wars and like the X-Men just come out of a portal and it's like, oh, there's the X-Men, and it's just like, oh no.
Well, I was just gonna say from a legend standpoint, you don't necessarily have to be dark side to use force lightning.
Yes,
Of course,
yes,
it's
you're
legend.
right. Yes, you're right.
So that's where I was going with it. We don't know what his is, and obviously this seems like they're sort of picking and choosing what they would want to do with legends, and they've definitely been more on showing that the force is just the force. It's sort of what you do with it. I mean, obviously they still have their definite dark side and light side of it, but if they're picking and choosing, that's something. I'm kind of with Trayvon. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of lightning.
I mean, if they do it, if they do it, I'm not a stickler. I'm not going to be like, well,
No,
I
get
shouldn't be able to, because
I get what you mean.
my argument flies out of the window because Rey is canon. And Rey for damn sure used Force Lightning, all in the span of only unlocking the Force in herself in the span of like a year and a half. So
that's my favorite scene.
I don't think they consider. I don't know what they. I don't know how they. I guess because we haven't heard anything afterwards. I don't know how they categorize that. Like if it was like she tapped into the dark side, or if that was them trying to pull that from Legends or anything.
I think they were trying to show you.
He's right. It is called Force Judgment. Or Electric Judgment. Sorry, Electric Judgment.
Electric Judgment.
The good version of Force Lightning. It's Electric Judgment.
They've never used that in canon, so I don't know if
that's why I said it's a legend. It's a legend thing.
Right.
Oh, Electric Judgment. Interesting.
I will say this though. The Rey thing.
Samantha.
Go ahead, Joe. Yeah, it is really. The Rey thing, I believe, was more so because remember that was right before the scene where Kylo told her that Palpatine was her grandfather.
That's true.
Right. So I think it was kind of trying to show the audience of like, look at this.
Oh,
she could do Force Lightning, right? Like Palpatine, because we've only in canon ever seen it from Palpatine. Dooku. Yes, Dooku. Sorry.
Oh
Dooku
yeah.
But we've only seen it from Dooku and Palpatine, so it's not like we've seen Maul use it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not something we've seen every. I mean, fuck, Kylo's never used it. But I believe Kylo's never used it because he's never truly been a Sith. I think there was always a part of him that was conflicted, so it cut him off. But no, I mean, this was great. Trayvon, I know how much you love Petty, so you'll love this. A lot of people have been theorizing that Inquisitor that Ahsoka was fighting might be Barriss Sophie. And we know that there's history between those two, right? And look, Dave Filoni's doing this show. Dave Filoni seems like the exact person to bring in Barriss Sophie for unfinished business. Because to me, that makes more sense than you just telling me there was just like scattered versions of them out there. Because to me, it's like when Vader killed them all. Just he wiped all of them out. I know me and AJ went back and forth about maybe he didn't. Vader killed all of them. Once he got the okay, they were dead. They were all dead. So I like that because to me, I want this series to be as personal as possible. Right? You're looking for your friend, right? That you believe Thrawn has. You're trying to reunite the Rebels. You know, the Rebels team, not the Rebels as the organization. I like a lot of this. So to me, why not? Why not make it even more personal? Bring in Barriss Sophie for unfinished business. I mean, unless, I want to bring back a Size of Interest. Anyway, So
I mean, that was in a book. You can throw that out the window.
You can say it's legends. You can say it's a book, right? You can say it's legends.
You could easily say that book was legends. You could
just saying. Bring back Asajj. But no, I don't think Asajj, even where we left off with Asajj in season, I believe 5 or 6 of Clone Wars, she wasn't in a space where she would have went back to the dark side. Remember, she had went through a whole bunch of shit. She had went back home to become a Night Sister. Then when that didn't work, she went to become an assassin. When that didn't work, she became a bounty hunter. When that didn't work, she said, fuck it, I'm just hiding. Like, she just kept regressing. So for me, it seems like a step backwards, but who knows? I'm trying to think of.
There might be some truth to this. There was they were looking to say the show that she survived and bring her back in Dark Disciple. So they at least thought about it at one point. So
yeah, I mean, I would love that. I would really love that. I would love it, and that's Dave Filoni's baby right there. So I would love it. I would very much love it. All right. I do want to say this, Trayvon. Trayvon, I didn't go to you yet, right?
I don't know.
I'm gonna assume no. So in going to you next, Trayvon, one thing I thought you would have loved that I didn't really hear you talking much about. We got to see Sabine Wren with a lightsaber in this trailer. That's your girl. You love you some Sabine Wren. She had a lightsaber. She had Ezra's lightsaber in this.
I don't know. It's just I'm ready for the show. I'm just tired of waiting for stuff at this point. I'm just like, is it here yet? Like, I'm tired of these trailers and we got to wait like 6 months for everything. It's just like, it just feels like a long time. I don't know. Just got the Marvels pushed back and I don't get this till August. And I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know.
But think about this though. Think about how close together both of those things are. That doesn't make you excited?
They ain't that close.
Well, they're not that far. Like, they're not that close. They're not that far.
He wanted them.
Joe, when does the Marvels come out?
November.
Well, November.
This comes out in August. It's 8 episodes, so that's 8 weeks. You get a little breather, and then boom, you go right into the Marvels.
I think it's mid-August at that, so you'll probably be
October.
November 10th. It's November 10th, trust me.
So that's what I'm saying. You get it right there. It's not a long wait. It's not like Ahsoka comes out in January. Trayvon is saying he hates the wait of seeing a trailer and then it comes out so far. And I'm like, well, the Marvels and Ahsoka essentially don't come out that far from each other. So you get a nice 1-2.
There's a lot of shit in between. Yeah, there's a lot of shit in between. You gotta.
And you get Blue Beetle in August too. So watch that. Cruise yourself into Ahsoka. But how did you feel about the trailer as a whole, Trayvon?
Oh, I'm very excited to see them all team up, and I mean it's gonna be nostalgia for me as well. Like that's just what it's gonna do for me. So I'm be smiling the whole time, like, oh look at that, they're talking. Look, I'm simple. They talk to each other. I'm be smiling. So it's just like I'm like, so it'll be fine for me. So I'm probably even more like nostalgia, like glazed over because I'm gonna rewatch the show before we get to this, since we have so much time. So I'm gonna rewatch it again.
The way you keep making it sound is wild. Stop making it sound like that. You're not waiting a century, Trayvon. These things come up so fast, bro. I remember saying, damn, bro, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania seems so far. And then I blinked, and I was sitting in the theater watching it. Like, these things are going to start coming real fast. This year is starting to just zoom by. It really is. You can tell by the weather. Like, the weather snuck up on a lot of us. Like, oh, shit, warmth. Okay, all right, check. Got it.
If you live in North Carolina, it was warmth and then cold and then warmth and then kind of in the middle. We're getting back to war.
Here. I mean, Jamie, we had snow one day and then like heat and high humidity 3 days later, and it was like I don't know what's happening.
Well, no,
it wasn't.
None of the snow stuck. It was just floating.
Yeah, it wasn't.
We had the heat, and then like 3 days later, it snowed and it stuck.
We haven't.
Then it got hot again, and the snow melted.
A while.
Oh no! Come on now, we can't say that. Trayvon be asking for everything. Trayvon wants you to make it, drop it the same day. Like he wants a trailer the moment after you announce the movie. Trayvon be making this mad difficult on me.
This is Disney. Like, y'all got the money. Like,
it's not about the money. It's that you got to space everything out, so you have content covering all throughout the year.
Who needs space?
I mean, they believe they do.
I need it. I need it.
I'm like, they believe they need the space. But no, I mean, I'm really excited for this, Trayvon. Like I said, I thought you would love Sabine. You know, obviously Hera, and obviously Hera is now looked at as the hero of her people, not her people, but of the rebels. So it's good to see her getting her just due. I will say,
man, it's crazy.
Well, if you know Dave Filoni, you know one thing Dave Filoni always strives for is to bring his babies to live action. Once The Mandalorian started and there was word that we could see Ahsoka, it was very much just like, oh, he might not stop. Like, he might keep this going. Oh, damn, my bad. All right, AJ. But yeah, so he might keep this going. So for me, it was exciting to see. I will say that I'm going to get super emotional whenever Kanan's brought up. I know I am. Whenever Kanan gets brought up, I know I'm gonna get super emotional. Like, we could have seen you. You could have made it. If you had just lived just a little bit longer, you could have made it, brother. You could have. But I'm very excited for this series. And speaking of nostalgia, I mean, look at this. Look at this right here, guys. Look at this.
Wow,
look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that. Look at that.
What's going on with his hair?
I don't know what. I don't know.
Blown back.
I don't know what Dr. Eggman movie he's trying to portray.
Looks like he's about to work on an evil experiment.
That motherfucker.
All he needed is the frosted
wild.
tips. He's trying to take it back to the early 2000s.
Yep.
God bless him. Tell him not to do that.
But
I will say I do like my odds of at one point us getting maybe even in a flashback. So I brought this photo up to say. Apparently, we're supposed to see Ahsoka through phases. So we're supposed to see Ahsoka young, where we get the flashbacks of this team here, which I'm praying
I've been wanting
that Tamar Morrison comes back and gives us Rex. I really hope that we get Rex. That would just be, my life would be fucking complete. So we're going to get different generations of Ahsoka. So that's why some people were saying you could see a lot of real crazy shit in this show, because anything can kind of be pulled out or brought up from any different point. So we might see a moment where Ahsoka shares with Kanan, right? It's not him being alive again. It's not him being pulled out. It's just, it's a memory that we get to kind of relive as she goes through everything. I would even like them to give us, Didge, I know you're with me on this. I'd like to see not a full moment of it, but like a snippet of that scene from Rebels, where half of Vader's mask is destroyed, and you see him talking to Ahsoka right before like she drops the building down on them to crush them. I would like that in live action a little bit.
I would love it, but they did similar already in Kenobi. I don't know if they do it again.
Yeah, that's true, but it wasn't with Ahsoka.
That's fair.
and Ahsoka did it first. Did it first.
That's fine.
But no, I'm really, 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 truly excited. Jamie, I know you were saying how much you hate Star Wars and everything, but are you looking forward to? Did you like this Ahsoka trailer?
You know what's funny is I saw the trailer and I immediately thought to myself like, "Oh, this is a lot of Rebels stuff." Because I was like, "There's a whole bunch of characters I vaguely recognize." But I don't know nothing about this, so it's gonna be interesting for me to jump into this. Not completely blind, but like I honestly don't know what to expect for this story. So that was interesting. Oh, I did also. I feel like I did like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's like, "Oh my god," because I recognized some of the people from Andor, and I think there were some things or some people from Andor that were in this.
Yeah, Mothma.
Well. I was like, "Oh yeah,
Mothma." You recognize? Yeah, Mothma. Yeah.
So I'm like, they're connecting all the dots. That's cool.
But
yeah.
I will say, I'm glad that they're touching on Mon Mothma because she was an amazing ally to Luke Skywalker. So it seems as though they're going to integrate her more so with everybody else, like Din Djarin, Boba, people like that. It's gonna be real awesome. And whenever Filoni drops that movie, when you get a scene, you remember how, and I maybe no one else did, but I screamed when in Infinity War, when they're saying, all right, well, where do we hide now? And Steve's like, I know a place, right? And then you start hearing the Wakanda music, and it's just like, oh, dude, this shit is so fucking cool. This is all coming together. I know that Filoni's going to give us a moment where they're like, well, we're going to need some help from, like, you know, people we look down on, like bounty hunters. And Ahsoka's definitely going to go, oh, I know some fucking people. And you know, Boba Fett's getting the call. So obviously Fennec Shan's coming with him. Din's getting the call, bringing Grogu's little ass to war with him. Like, so much of bringing this all together once we get to that movie is going to be so fucking epic. Like, it's going to bring tears in my eyes. Joel, what were your thoughts on this trailer for Ahsoka?
Really cool, really fun. A lot of nostalgia. You know the characters, like some of these characters seeing for the first time in live action, so that's really cool. I think a lot of that was mostly just like, holy shit. Going from animation to live action is always fun for me personally, because I kind of like seeing my cartoons come to life, or even my comics. So for me, it's a really big deal when I actually see them in flesh. Them sometimes weird. It's a little like awkward to see them not animated, to see them in live action, but yeah, it goes away eventually. You just get used to it, and they look fine.
But I mean, when they look as good as fucking Zeb did, you kind of go, well, yeah, do this more.
Well, Zeb is easier to pull off because it's a CGI character, you know, animated character, as opposed to someone who now has an actual face, not an animated face. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a little different. But yeah, I agree. It's just fun to see it come to life. So I get to see the Rebels crew I watched in this trailer, and some of the coolest shit I've seen. Like, a lot of questions. I have no idea what the story's going to be like, and there's going to be a lot of fun stuff. It seems like, so I'm excited.
Well, it seems like the straight line is Ahsoka trying to find Ezra, right? In the reemergence of Thrawn.
The continuation of that,
right?
They've been trying to do that since the end of Rebels, right?
Yes. Well, it ended with them disappearing, and then you see a flash forward of them. I think a few months, maybe a year or two, or a couple of years.
Before,
right. And then it's the journey of, hey, we've been looking. It's time that we go find Ezra, which is fucked up, right? Like, think about that. Think about you disappeared. It takes your friends a couple of years, and they go, all right, I think it's time. Bitch, what y'all been doing? The fuck? I've been going for been long.
Well, no, they might have been kind of looking, you know. Where
kind of looking ain't looking.
When you're doing
Stop
all
out
the
this.
research.
You know what kind of looking is? Kind of looking is whenever, like, our moms go, where the fuck are the keys? I can't find the keys. And it's like, did you look in your purse? Of course, that's the first fucking place I look. You dump the purse, the keys are in there. And it's like, you didn't fucking look, right? That's the looking they did. And now it's like, all right, now let me dump out the purse and find Ezra.
Yeah.
Maybe
that's
they
the first time it felt like an actual.
Yes, DJ Vinny hit it. They've been glancing. That's what they've been doing. They've been glancing. Whatever they've been doing, they've been like, hey, you seen Ezra? Nope. All right, that counts. All right.
That's the first time they realized they're in a.
They walk in every day and ask me, yo, you
multiple
saw?
galaxies.
Oh, damn. All right.
Y'all ain't seen
next tomorrow.
Shit's tough. Yeah. All right. We'll ask next month. We'll see it until you got later. But no, I mean, this is great, and obviously we did see the mural in live action that we saw in animation of the entire Rebels team. That was awesome. I did notice though. Well, I didn't notice. I know you can look this up like really quickly. Did that original mural have Kanan in it? I don't think it did, but it'd be fucked up if it didn't. It had the wolf in it that essentially Kanan was the essence of, but it didn't have Kanan. Like, that's a little fucked up. Man died for y'all. Like, I don't think he was in that mural. Trayvon, I think that's one of the photos I sent you. Was the mural? It had the teammates underneath it, but it was the mural.
I don't care about people's recreations of it.
Oh no, there's no. Yes, Kanan is here.
Yeah.
He is in it. He is in it. He's right above. He's right behind Ezra.
I keep getting people when I Google image search it. It keeps showing me people. I painted this, and it's like, I don't care.
I just want to know if in the live action one, Kanan was in that. Because if he's in that, then it's like, well, excuse me, you get at least a better idea on what he looks like. Did they make him look animated? Excuse me, or does he look live action? I don't remember what the live. Yeah, that's the one from animation, from the Rebels show. But they showed that same painting in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember if it looked animated like this to look like a painting. And if they all looked like this, or if they looked like their live action selves. That's what I'm trying to say.
I always imagine it as Freddie Prinze Jr. with the goatee. And...
That's what I'm saying. I want to see if they actually did that. That's what I'm saying.
Bring him in.
I agree, Trayvon. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I would love that. I would definitely love that. But I'm just glad that we got the cat. I think it's a shadow cat. I don't remember what that cat's called. I can't wait for more Chopper. We got the ghost bat, like
Chopper's
just so
fun.
much. It's just like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just so awesome to have everything back. So speaking of which, we were talking about, and Did you can keep looking that up because we're still kind of on this a little bit. Thank you, Trayvon, for that. Dave Filoni did announce that he will be doing a movie that will be the culmination of everything you've seen of these shows. They did also let us know that season 4 of The Mandalorian will indeed be the final season of The Mandalorian. It seems like maybe all of these shows, it seems like we won't get another season of Book of Boba Fett. It seems like maybe Ahsoka might have a second season, maybe. Because this movie, I have to assume, is probably 2025. Is when I could probably assume when this is going to come out. Because that gives you time this year to end this year, maybe start next year. Start next year with the announcement of the final season of The Mandalorian. You film it, it comes out right before the movie. That's what I imagine is their plan.
In the first look, it's definitely still animated. It's like,
okay, I thought so.
Because you can tell it's supposed to be like a painting, I guess. So you can tell it's not like.
Got you. It's not the live action versions of them. Got you.
No.
So Didge, how are you feeling about this Dave Filoni culmination movie?
I mean, I like it because it tells you what. I guess we were always wondering, like, well, how does this all end? And now it sort of tells you, like, well, we have something in mind.
Right.
I'm kind of hoping it gives you a little bit about the rise of the First Order, which I think it seems like it is.
It would have to, yeah.
Depending on, well, it kind of has to, but depending on where it ends and start, or I guess like where it starts and ends, like timeline wise, because this is
here's why I said it has to. No, not 30. That's where it gets a bit confusing.
It gets murky.
Right now, Ben Solo is a baby. You know what I'm saying? I believe at 15, 16. No. He should be alive right now. He should be alive right now.
Mandalorian.
When was he born? I don't remember.
Well, I believe when Luke tried to kill him, he was between 16 and 18 years old.
Yeah, so it depends like when he, because it's been over. Obviously, the new trilogy took place 30 plus years, right?
Right.
It took place 30 years after episode 7 or after episode 6, right?
Right.
Episode 7 was 30 years. This is Mandalorian is 5 years after episode 6, so 25 years.
Okay. Got you. I got you, Didge. I got you. But he should still be born.
Was she pregnant in Return of the Jedi? I forget.
No. Was she?
I don't know how old Ben Solo. I don't know how.
I don't remember.
Ben Solo in those movies were in his 30s. He was definitely in his 30s.
Were they saying? I know Adam Driver was in his 30s, but I don't know if that's what they were saying.
I don't think you were trying to portray him to be young 20s. He's
mid 20s to 30s, or maybe. I don't know.
You could be right. Then it would make sense. Then he's at least born, but I don't know how long the First Order has been doing their stuff.
Well, they've been doing it from behind the scenes for a while.
Yeah, there was a transition at some point from being
right, because remember, Snoke was the start of the official First Order, and we know right now we're no close to Snoke because remember they're still trying to clone. That's the whole purpose of Grogu.
Yeah, that's what.
So they have not perfected it yet in order to do Snoke. See, this is why I hate the AJ left. But yeah, so it's not that far off. But yeah, they got to build towards the First Order. Like they could end the movie in somebody saying,
doesn't have to be like,
let's build the First Order, or this is the beginning of the First Order, and
and
that
that's what I
tips
was
the
gonna
hat
say.
to the,
Yeah.
the
For
next
sure.
generation, right?
Because right
Where
now
it's
it's
like
just
you're just sort of you're sort of seeing that the New Republic is basically making the same mistakes, and you're so like you kind of get an inkling like, okay, I get how the First Order became where they were because these guys suck, but it's
Right.
like
Well,
to get to a
also the
point
First
where
Order truly grew to its full power because of how weirdly they wrote Luke. If Luke was the same way he was the way that Dave
Kylo
Filoni
Ren
and
was
Jon
30 when he
Favreau
died,
was 30,
exactly 30.
so it
yikes!
says I have it here that
It
Force
was 30
Awakens.
years ago. Yeah, it's 30 years ago.
I have it
Yeah,
34 years for the Force Awakens. So he
so
might
then
have
30.
been.
So he would be. He's probably just about like you said, a baby then,
Yeah,
or
that's what I'm
even,
saying. He hasn't
or
been
she's
born yet.
pregnant with him.
But what's
Kylo
5 years?
has to
He
be
might be
somewhere
Force.
in existence.
Yeah.
Like that's all I'm
He's-
saying right
He's
now.
at least a thought at this point.
Right. They're thinking
That's
of names right now.
Right.
But yeah. Again, the First Order rising to power is because they essentially wrote Luke off. Is what the new trilogy did. But if Luke was the way that he should have been, the way that Filoni and Favreau have portrayed him, the way George had portrayed him, no way Luke would have been that blind to allow the First Order to rise that quickly. So to me, that's a little bit of my issue. I'm not even putting that on the screen, DJ Vinny. Jamie, I'll go to you. What are your thoughts on Dave Filoni giving us the culmination movie, kind of ending the Star Wars TV show universe?
My immediate first thought is damn. There's a lot there's a lot going on right now. Even like, we just talked about Ahsoka, and I'm like, I don't even halfway know what's going on with that. And to think that there's going to be a movie with, I don't know if everybody's going to be in it, but like pretty much all of the stories will reach their conclusion or a conclusion.
Mhm.
I feel a little worried as to how it's gonna all work out. But like on the content side of thing, I still feel like it's gonna be really cool. For the most part, I've liked all the Star Wars TV shows and stuff, and I definitely have faith in Dave Filoni. So I don't think that it's gonna be a flop or anything. I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like he's given himself a monumental task to try and close out in a movie. Unless, I mean, I guess we'll see how these next few seasons go. Maybe he'll put it in a good spot where everything can just wrap up nicely. But
I mean,
as of now, I'm like, I have no idea how he's going to do it.
I mean, to me, I kind of feel like there isn't anyone else who should do it. Dave Filoni is so ingratiated with a lot of what we're seeing right now, creating the idea of Mandalore. That's Filoni, right? Ahsoka. That's Filoni. Filoni was part of the team of bringing Boba back. Obviously Filoni and Jon Favreau playing around with bringing Luke back. Well, not bringing him back, but making him the surprise and everything. Thrawn. A lot of Thrawn story for the massive audience, not just the book readers, was from Rebels. So I'm like, it's essentially a continuation of where he left off. So I'm like, a lot of this does make sense for him to be the guy to do the job.
Well, I'm not saying that he's not the guy specifically. I'm just like, I literally don't know how he's going to do it.
Oh, I got you. Kind of like how, like, us 10 years before Infinity War trying to figure out how do you bring all this together. I got you.
Yeah.
Because I do look back and think to myself, like, watching that first Avengers movie and then watching Infinity War is like fucking insane. Like, you watch that first one and you go, this is the craziest thing you could have ever done. Then you get to Infinity War and you're like, oh my God, they did so much more, right? You brought everything together to do this movie. So for me, I can't wait to see Boba Boba talking with Ahsoka again. I just want to see Boba interact with Luke, for Luke to go, bitch, I killed you. I know we did. I know we did. I remember it. You went right in that Sarlacc pit. How the fuck are you here? Because that would be awesome to see. I am curious also, Didge, how they do this, and is Leia and Han and Chewie a conversation? That's what does make me feel like you can't bring Luke back, because if you bring Luke back, then the question remains of, well, where's everybody else? This is a massive war, and you're not bringing in Leia, who right now, at this point, is still General Leia, or
Well,
she's
if
on
our
a road to
time-
becoming General Leia.
If we're figuring out our timeline correctly, she's pregnant. There's your
Well,
answer.
But she could still be. Obviously, she was never physically in the fight. She was more so like the strategist. Oh, go ahead,
Well,
Joel. I'm sorry.
No, I was doing the math in my head. So where are we at now? Both Book of Boba Fett, Mandalorian season 3 takes place 9 years after, I guess, if you do the math right.
I think they said he said
First
a
season
handful.
was
Did he say
5.
9?
When I say 9 years, I'm sorry, I'm talking about from New Hope, not from Return.
Oh, sorry. I apologize. Yes. Okay. Yes.
All right. So yeah, because I'm going by the way they go. So it's ABY, BBY. So that's
Right.
Now, wait, hold
that's
on.
right. That's why I gave up.
Also factor in Dave Filoni
Sorry.
said between Book of Boba Fett in this season of Mandalorian, 4 to 5 years have passed.
okay. So they're saying Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian season 3, is it?
Yeah.
So
Because he
there's
said
been
there's years that have passed between Luke taking Grogu and then Grogu returning.
okay, then
I
we
thought
need
he
to
said
know.
2.
Did he say 2?
Let me see.
I remember him. He said, I just don't remember what number. Give me the number so I can write it down because I'm tracking it. So
I'm googling it quickly.
because if
as
he's
quickly as
30,
I can.
and let's say he was born, obviously, let's say she was pregnant
2
in Return of the Jedi.
Only
2
2 years?
Yep.
Okay,
They've
2
been
years.
So
at this
it's
point they had been reunited for a year.
so it's been 11. Okay, so that would mean 6 years. So he's probably 6 years old at this point.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm with you there. So they probably won't bring in Luke because then it's like, well, where's Han? And you know how people felt about Han being anybody else but fucking Harrison Ford. So I just don't see things like that. So, whatever.
I mean, I hope he does though, because they did show him.
I know that's my issue is that you showed him, and that's why I was telling Dig and AJ. If you didn't show him, I wouldn't have had a problem. But you showed him.
I mean, they already
So there's
showed
no
young.
way.
We saw young Harrison Ford and fucking Indiana Jones coming up. At some
Right,
point,
yeah,
James
do
got
it
a
again.
question.
Yeah,
exactly.
do it again.
Do it
I don't
again.
know.
You
if
do
he
it with
wants
Luke,
to
do it
that,
again.
though.
Fuck him. Fuck him. He got 2 options. Bitch, I bring Anson. What's his Anson Yogurt? What was his name that played Han Solo?
Alden Ehrenreich.
Yeah, I said that same thing. I said, fuck it. You don't want to do it? I'll bring his ass back. I don't give a fuck. Chop him up, make him look like Harrison.
I liked him.
I'll use your rights. Don't fuck with me, Harrison. I'll use your likeness. All right, I'll do it. But yeah, Joel, how do you feel about the culmination? I mean, because it feels like Mandalorian itself can go on another 2 or 3 more seasons. Because it's just a story of a bounty hunter and his kid, right?
Absolutely.
But the fact that they want to end everything in one movie, and you could argue their TV series have been the best thing about Star Wars recently.
Right.
How do you feel about them wanting to bring it to an end?
The Mandoverse.
Yeah, the Mandoverse.
Because so it's all the current live action series culminating in one movie. I love that idea because I think we talked about that being an option and how cool that would be if it became a movie. I didn't think it'd be the culmination, but that's fine too, I guess. So after the end, I mean, obviously, if that's the plan, that means they already have a plan for it to end there, or whatever the story they're going to tell will culminate here, and we'll put it to bed. And if they want to spin off of that for future movies with different characters, they can do that too. But as of right now, I'm very excited to see how it all culminates because I love The Mandalorian. I like Book of Boba Fett. I'm really looking forward to Ahsoka. The Skeleton Crew part of that, I don't even know.
It is part of it, yes.
It is. So
yes,
that team or whatever the fuck ends up being a part of that, and whatever other character surprises they throw out, Luke, that'd be cool. And if they do want to bring back the original, Trinity, Star Wars Trinity, I'm down for that too. And Chewie, I love Chewie. But do whatever they want. I just want to. I have no worries because it's all Filoni. He's been building it since forever. Clone Wars, he was a big part of that. Obviously, Rebels, all those animated characters becoming live action for a reason, and it's all because of him. So it's like, if there's somebody that deserves the chance, it's him.
Yep. These is his babies. Trayvon, did you talk about your thoughts on the culmination of this all ending?
No, I didn't, but I mean, that's fine. I like that they have a plan. I like that, they're not going to drag it on forever and they
True.
know when they want to end it. That's good. Than rather
Respect.
dragging it forever. Yeah, the movies, I mean, that sounds crazy for a combination of everything together. It'll be something to see. I'll tell you that.
Mhm.
I just hope,
Now, let me ask you this. Now that you
Mhm.
know that that's the plan, does Book of Boba Fett make more sense to you? Do you now see it as what I told you it always was, which was just
What
a
was it?
bridge? It was just
Oh.
a bridge. It was just a bridge to tell a higher arcing story, right? So that's why you had to blend so much of everything in it. Remember, Ahsoka was in it, Luke was in it, Mando was in it, Grogu was in it. Like, all of them were in it, so that it reminds the viewers once you get to the movie, when you see them all interact, you're not like, well, wait, why is Ahsoka interacting with Boba? And why is Luke interacting with these guys? Like, it puts everything together. Again, Mike, cover your ears. You got to do the homework and watch it all.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna say,
when you do, it
Somewhere
makes
Mike
more
just
sense.
cried.
I
I
know.
was just
He
saying,
just,
you gotta
oh,
assume they
oh,
watched Book of Boba. Yeah, I was about to say.
right.
You gotta-
If you didn't, then it's like not
That's on
watching
you.
any of the Iron Man or Thor or Captain America movies and then
Like how
going
many
into
people
Endgame.
started Mandalorian season 3 and are asking when did Grogu come back? Well, you had to watch
Right,
Boba Fett.
Right. But to me, I feel like now that they made that announcement, it should be a lot clearer why they put so much in the Book of Boba Fett. It was just a bridge. It was, you know what it was, Trayvon? Think about what you're saying about how long you got to wait for Ahsoka. Think about how much longer you would have had to wait for the Mandalorian had there been no Book of Boba Fett. If there was nothing right there. The Book of Boba Fett was like 2 years ago, it feels like. So I'm like, it's like you would have had nothing to get you to the Mandalorian season 3.
I am curious to see how they handle this situation with the movie, because it's interesting with Marvel now too. The WandaVision and Miss Marvel. If you didn't see those and you saw this trailer, you're like, who the hell are they?
Right.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yep.
So I just wonder how they're gonna handle it because there's a lot of characters in these shows that if you didn't watch the shows and the movie pop up, like they can't spend forever explaining every character to you. So
100%.
so it's gonna be interesting to see how they handle it.
Yeah, I mean, again, the only thing that they're going to be able to do for those people is, I believe everybody around the world knows the Mandalorian and Grogu. You sell the movie like that. You sell the movie like that. I mean, unless you're going to put Luke in it, and I believe everybody knows Luke. Unless you're going to put Luke in it, and you can 100% market it with Luke, you market it with Grogu and Din.
And possibly Boba. Some people probably know Boba.
Oh yeah, there's probably
lot
a
of people know
generation
Boba.
that knows Boba. Right. So yeah, you're gonna have to market it from familiar faces, not familiar storylines. Right? It's just the faces that people go, oh, I know who that is, and that is. That's enough for me. But all right. So we also did get news that Daisy Ridley will be back as Rey. Just Rey. She will be back as just Rey. That's what they said on the stage. That is not what they said on the stage. They said Rey. They said Rey. Just telling you what they said. They said Rey. There was no Rey Skywalker. It was Rey.
It's fine.
It's not a fucking Skywalker.
Yes,
Anyway, she's not. She's not. But anyway, we will be getting a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, that's fine. It's a title. That's fine. But she's not actually a Skywalker, and she never will be. Rey will be back.
On Daisy Ridley. I don't like your.
This is about the character, not the actor.
I don't know, man. It's starting to sound
The
like
actor
hate for
did
Daisy
nothing
Ridley.
wrong.
It's
No,
starting
because
to
I
sound
actually
like
was
hate
just
for Daisy
watching
Ridley.
Rise of Skywalker today. It reminded me how much that movie fucking frustrates me. But I just reminded myself how much I love the hope Rey brings. That character stands for. It's just she's picking up where Luke should have left off at, which is a beacon for hope.
Luke was a what? Luke was a what?
Proper.
A beacon of hope.
No, what's his last name?
But I didn't say his last name, so why are you trying to get me to repeat it? I only said Luke. But anyway, apparently this will be a handful of years later. She is, for reasons I don't understand, a Jedi Master. I guess that, like Skywalker, is self-appointed, I guess. And she is
This is
trying to
only one now.
rebuild the Jedi Order. I guess you could just give yourself titles now. I guess that's what happens.
I mean, Luke did, right? Kind of.
I was gonna say it.
Well, to be fair, Yoda was there to be able to knight Luke Skywalker. He could have been a Force ghost, and Luke, I believe, was knighted in the books. When you're the only one, you're the master. Right. You think I'm right with the what?
I think you are right. It was in the books where he was technically knighted, but it's like I kind of.
I mean, here's the difference, though. There's literally nobody but Rey. Like, unless they said Finn is, and then like they knighted each other. But anyway, that does not matter.
I would love for Finn to become a Jedi.
I think that's the only way you can get him back is to make him a Jedi. I don't think he's coming back.
That was a false promise. Damn it, that's what that was.
It was.
Yeah, I don't think he's fallen for that okie doke twice. But anyway, she is trying to rebuild the Jedi Order. So that's going to be really interesting. And Trayvon, the reason why I wanted to make sure we squeeze this Daisy Ridley news in is that you're going to essentially, if you're rebuilding the Jedi Order, you have to essentially rebuild the dark side, right? And in rebuilding the dark side, at that point, you could do whatever the fuck you want to do. Like, they could fly, they could have wings, they could have, like, lightsabers that come out their cheeks. You could do anything at that point. That's untold territory that they're playing with.
Don't give me hope.
I'm just saying, don't expect it to be like, oh, you have to follow these rules. If they're recreating a whole new dark side order or Sith order or whatever they choose to do, they could do anything, really. I mean, you know, if you want to say that they have flying or amplified powers or whatever the case may be, correct me if I'm wrong, there is no canvas of this timeline that they're playing with. This has never been explored.
Uncharted territory.
I think
so you can really do what you want.
I think that's partly why they're trying to end everything else, is they're looking for something where they can go and basically create their own. By the way, I looked it up. Luke basically did knight himself.
What's basically?
So he specifically asked Yoda, was he a Jedi Knight yet? And no, Yoda was basically like, yo, focus on what you got to finish. And, finish your mission.
Yoda's like, I've seen this shit before. This is shit that made your daddy kill us. No, I focus on other shit. This isn't important, Luke.
They said the first inkling that you get that Luke feels that he really is a Jedi, because there's no other like official thing when he says, I am a Jedi like my father before me. That's the first time.
Yes, I remember that line. Yes, I'm a Jedi like my father before me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's where he's like, yeah, I'm a Jedi Knight now. Like,
yes. No. If they're telling me that, see, here's my difference. If you're telling me that Rey is a Jedi Knight, I don't have a problem with that. They're saying that Rey is a Jedi Master. That's my issue.
Point, if you're a knight, all you got to do is train somebody, and you're their master. That's really basically what Luke, that's really what That's literally what Luke did.
No. Time out. The canon of that is Anakin was Ahsoka's master. That did not make him a Jedi Master. We know this because they said you are not a Jedi Master, Anakin. You are a knight.
But if we're calling Luke a Jedi Master and this man knighted himself, at some point he was just like, yeah, I'm training people. I'm a master now.
I think Luke probably gave himself master well before that. He was like, bitch, I saved all this shit. I'm a master. Fuck what y'all heard. Fuck what y'all heard.
Back to what you said earlier. Clearly, you could just give yourself this title now.
Right.
I'm a Jedi Master, guys.
Fuck it. I'm whatever.
What's going on here? And look, she probably talk with like what the Force ghosts all the time. She's like, well, someone's got to give it.
Somebody has to do this.
At that point, Luke was just like, hey, honestly, I just said that shit. It's like, did you say it? Yeah, I said it out loud. Then you're it. You got it. You're good. Is what it is now. I mean, who's gonna tell you you're not, right? So fuck it. Jawan's not in Star Wars, so you got no haters. So go ahead, do your thing, do your thug fizzle. But no, all jokes aside, I'm really glad that Daisy Ridley is back. I believe Daisy Ridley deserves this the same way I believe Hayden Christensen deserved everything he got since Kenobi. The fact that he was crying when he was doing the interview on the main stage, when the crowd was just chanting his name, because he remembers what it was like when people were just like, oh my God, the pissy little Anakin, fuck that guy, I hate him, right? He's a whiny bitch. And now it's just like, we love him, right? So it's like if we could do that for Daisy, that would be awesome because the narrative was not good for a lot of these
You
actors.
need to be hated before
around
you're
that
loved.
time.
That's just part of Star Wars tradition.
They're true in the sense of you have to go through a little dark before you can cleanse
Before you
yourself
get to
with
the
the light.
Absolutely.
So for me, I'm just glad to see her back. And look, I hope they bring the whole team back. I hope R2. I hope C-3PO. I hope Poe Dameron. I hope Finn. Kelly Marie Tran, even though I don't think she would accept that for all the money in the world. Yeah, I think she was like,
I
fuck
wouldn't
y'all.
mind
Yeah,
it,
it's not
but
happening.
no, yeah, she's done.
Even though Moises, is it Moises? Is that her name? Or Moses? Is it Moses?
I don't remember.
I think it's
From
Moses.
From Kenobi. Is it Moses? Because she did flirt with the idea
Moses
of coming
Ingram.
back. Moses Ingram, thank you. She did flirt with the idea of coming back. And since her character is not technically dead, character can come back at any point. That'd be interesting.
Right?
Wouldn't mind that.
Fuck at that point, though, no?
Oh, no. I don't
definitely.
mean in no. I don't mean in the Rey movie. I'm saying coming back, period. Like if they do another storyline that takes place around where she could still be alive and thriving.
She's not going to be alive during the Mandoverse time period.
She could, yeah.
Yeah, this is right in it. Yeah, this is right in it. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do find it really hard to believe that right after that show ended, Vader didn't go, all right, my ops are still clearly out here. And since I can't find Kenobi, I'm going to go kill her. Like, I very much believe Vader would have finished his breakfast. But
there's a small chance that he might not have.
There's a very small chance.
He might have
and
been
that small of a
pissed
chance
about
has to be that she did not use the Force at all after that show ended. She just went and retired.
What was my favorite part of that show? Was him hunting fuckers down, like all like hunting Jedi.
That's what I'm saying. A Vader series would literally crash the internet. The world wouldn't be able to survive that shit. But anyway,
it'd be dark. It'd be very dark.
It would be dark.
It would be. It would be.
Man, your word.
But again, seeing Vader from other people's view would be something very interesting.
Yeah.
But Jamie,
like that. What if they try to humanize him or something?
Well, he is humanized, Trayvon. He died being redeemed. What do you mean?
Like,
he's a monster as Vader. So if you try to like,
hey, take it easy.
Yes,
Not too much
but
on
I'm
Vader.
saying they redeemed
on
him.
Vader.
Imagine it. Imagine like he's off by himself. He's like nice or something.
Well, no. They won't do that. No, they won't do that. But we do know his motivations when he started were pure. Yeah,
I mean,
his motivations were pure when he started, though. He very much thought he lost everything. He thought he had no wife, no kids. Yeah. He lost everything. His best friend killed him. Like a lot was going bad for Vader.
He gave in hard.
100%. I mean, look, Palpatine didn't even have to try hard. Hey,
and
dog,
he was in constant pain.
Right. He's like, dog, your wife's dead. Your best friend killed you.
Let him burn. Let's be honest. Let him burn.
So.
Yeah.
Think about it. You lost most of all your limbs, basically. You're like on a giant respirator. That's what you walk around in.
Yeah, he very much was just like, well, fuck this universe. I'll burn it.
He remembers how he looked as Anakin. He probably goes to the mirror every day like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'd be worse. Yeah, I'd be worse.
Well, wait, no, Didge, it's worse because he's in that healing chamber. So there's a reflecting glass. So like every time he opens his eyes, just like, oh, I gotta kill more people today.
This is why he always comes out angry.
Right.
But no, so we all happy that Daisy Ridley is back. Jamie, you a fan of the new trilogy? Did you like those movies?
No.
Oh damn. Oh
no.
Shit. I didn't even catch my breath before you answered that.
They did things so wrong, and then the whole mess with Palpatine was a mess. But I am open to Rey's redemption. I do like her as a character, and I feel like she was also kind of wronged with her story and how everything went down. So yeah, I would definitely like to see her come back. I do like Daisy Ridley as well, so. Yeah, I'm completely down for it as long as we're leaving the nonsense behind. Then let's do it.
That'll be really interesting, is leaving that nonsense behind. Joel, how do you feel about Daisy Ridley being back?
Very excited. I didn't think she'd come back. I wasn't sure if she would. I'm not saying
that.
Honestly,
I
would. I thought if it did happen, it would be further out. So
You
this
thought
is
when they did another generation and she came back with
Yeah.
Luke?
right, yeah. They do it when she was a little older. But damn, already, I'm like, cool. I'm not against it at
I'm
all.
glad she's back. I'm tired of these
Me
loser
too.
Star
I
Wars
look forward
Well,
fans.
I do want to remind you, Joel, the original plan was not for them to take this break. The original plan
Right.
was for them to jump right back into
Yeah.
pushing that story further.
Well, that's
But it
what I
was
mean.
because so many people spoke out against it. Yeah, you had what's his
It needed a
name?
break.
That was Poe Dameron. That was very much Oscar Isaac was speaking out against it. John Boyega was speaking out against it. Mark Hamill had already made it known the second movie, The Last Jedi, he didn't fuck with. So everybody was just making it clear, I don't fuck with any of what's happening here. So it was like, all right, we need to
There was no
push you away.
organization. That was the problem.
Like,
It's
push
the
you away.
opposite of the TV shows where there's a focus and even though a lot of people have issues with this season of Mandalorian, most of the time there is a plan. You know, they're
People
going
who
in
have
that direction.
issues with this season of Mandalorian though, it's not for a legitimate reason.
Yeah.
It's the same loser fans who are loser fans already. It's
I get
that's
it.
what
I agree with
I've
that.
been watching a lot of the people who've been, oh, I have an issue with this season of Mandalorian. It's because you got bad opinions. And that's the best way to put it.
Rooted in it.
I'm
I
not
was
gonna
gonna
lie.
say that I
You
wasn't the hugest fan of this season, but I'll shut the fuck up.
I was about to say the same thing. Like, I'm not
but
saying this
I
season
get
is
you,
bad.
but I guarantee your reasons are legit. The most people who are the most vocal about it, it's because they got those bad opinions.
Go
See,
go
my
first,
only
Jamie. You
thing
go
about
first. Go
the-
ahead.
Yeah, my only thing about the season is it feels like well now the first few episodes I'm like what is the goal? Are we just kind of like hanging out? Because like I could hang out, but I wasn't expecting to hang out. So I was like, what's going on?
We can do this all day.
But now
We can
that we
kick it.
have like a direction and a goal, I'm like, okay, I'm much more down for like the last few episodes that we've seen. But at the beginning, I was like, we okay, like what's going
The only
on?
episode that threw me off was the one that barely had Mando in it. I'm like, what was the point of this? And then I still kind of confused, but
I actually
kinda
really liked that
understand.
episode.
It was
The
okay,
one with
but
the-
that-
My
Not least
issue
favorite
is
episode of the
purely
season.
just
That's
it looks like this season is living up to what the actual name is. It's just about Mandalorians. It's not about the Mandalorian in Din.
yeah,
It's about Mandalorian as people. And it's
Right.
like, well, that's fine. But I never thought that was something that was important to you. I thought the focus was always just
and then
Din and
Yeah.
Grogu. And now you're saying, well, no. Now we brought back Bo-Katan. And now
Yeah.
it's every
favorite-
Mandalorian.
and
She
that
kinda running
poster from
things.
beginning of the season with the four helmets makes way more sense now after the fact. I'm like, I didn't realize that meant
So,
anything.
That's my only issue. But again, it's not bad. It's just
But see,
it's very
all of
confusing
those
at times.
faults-
Like, what are you building towards? Like,
Yeah.
where is this
But see,
going?
all of those faults are story driven faults that make sense. Where it's like, okay, I can understand that. It's not the people who are, well, they're just showing too much of not Mando. They're showing too many girls. They're showing too many of this and that. And it's like, shut up.
Mm.
Stop
Not the
watching.
girls.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you told me this
Them.
season was only Bo-Katan, sign me the
Well,
fuck up.
you're biased. Of course, you would say that.
Extremely biased.
But,
Yeah, Bo-Katan is top 3 character for me. So yes. But no, it's just like I said, I don't. It's confusing me in the way that Book of Boba did, to where it's like when it started, I'm like, oh, okay, I see where you're going, and then by like the 3rd episode, I'm just like, do I? Like, where do you?
Well, to
what
be
is
fair,
happening?
I remember leading into the season, and they were saying it was essentially going to be the war for Mandalore. And I don't think anything official ever said it. I think it was just sort of things that
Assume
people assume
No.
based off of what we were given.
No, what's his name did say that, and I
Okay.
think that might have even been in the synopsis. You're right,
Okay,
but again, the
it could've been
trailers
fine.
made it seem like it was going to be Bo versus Din for the right of Mandalore, and then you see the
Not
most
gonna
recent
lie.
episode, and you're just like,
I never see. That's the thing. I never thought that going in.
Not gonna
So,
lie, I was kind of geeked to know that it wasn't because I was like, I don't want to pick that side. You notice I never answered
Oh,
what you would
I
ask.
I needed
I
it
think you-
desperately so I could just go, Bo. I mean, Bo, fucking Din.
I
Bo.
just never thought he cared enough for that.
And
to
that was the
make
other thing.
sense.
Yeah, it never seemed like he cared enough for power. Yeah, to Joel's
Right.
point.
Yeah.
Like it always felt like he felt like he was always trying to get rid of that dark saber. Like he didn't want to give it to Paz
He never
Vizsla.
learned how to
but
use it.
Every time Bo would show up talking about how she needed it, he's like, "You can have it." here.
I'm also a little confused of, and then we're gonna move off of this and wrap up for tonight. I was very perturbed that Paz Vizsla was not familiar with Bo-Katan at all. That bothered me a lot.
That was I didn't
that was
realize
very
it until
weird.
the second
Like,
time I
why
watched that
does-
episode.
Why does her legacy not ring for you? Pre-Vizsla was the leader of the Death Watch. That was a very widely known Again, they were rejected from the rest of Mandalore because they had, they dealt in murder. So they weren't like of the people. But your last name is Vizsla. I assume you're related to Pre-Vizsla, which was essentially, to a degree, I wasn't really sure if that was the love of Bo-Katan's life or just a leader that she would run through a brick wall for. It was never really clear. But Bo-Katan fought for Pre-Vizsla till his death. Till his head was chopped off, she fought for him, even though she disagreed with him vehemently about working with Darth Maul. So I'm like, how do you not know who she is? That's weird. I'm not the only one that thought that, right, bitch?
No, I was trying to figure that out. I remember looking it up, and the closest I got to it is, yes, he's a member of Clan Vizsla.
Right.
But he's sort of like, he's not, it seems like, how obviously you got your main branch of the clan, you got your branch families.
Yeah.
The best I could get is, I had to assume that he must have been like of the branch family that just sort of splintered.
His third
Because-
uncle.
That's just
Even when he
still
was talking-
weird that like you're not aware of
you-
the Death Watch.
But think about it, even when he was trying to fight Mando for the Darksaber, he talked about his ancestor. He wasn't talking about Paz. He was talking about his ancestor that had it.
Pre.
So it's
He's
like-
Paz.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Mhm.
The names are too similar to me. But no,
I
yeah, he
got
was
you.
talking about, what is the ancestor? What, Tar Vizsla? He was talking
Yeah.
about him.
Right.
So it's like,
That's
clearly,
weird.
he doesn't even seem to know Pre.
Yeah, that's weird to me. That was very weird to me. Especially because what's even weirder is Jon Favreau is playing Paz Vizsla after voicing Pre-Vizsla. So that makes it even more confusing.
I'm not gonna lie. That part lost me too, and I was just like,
Because I'm
it has
like,
to
that's
be
where
some
he got
type
the
of-
idea. That's where he got the idea to make the Mandalorian. Is his time working with George and Dave about the creation of Mandalore and everything that it is. So after he voiced Pre-Vizsla, is when he started talking to George and Dave about the idea of like, what if we did this? So when he played Paz Vizsla, it's like, well, wait, you got to know that that's confusing to your audience. Like, that's just
Let me
weird.
see
But
if
anyway,
I can find it.
all right, keep looking for it.
Yeah,
We're gonna move on to. Go ahead. Oh, you got it. Go ahead.
Oh, well, it's the same thing I found the first time. So it was, like I said, we know he's clearly a descendant of Tar Vizsla.
Mhm.
We don't know who his parents are, even though people I think people just assume just based off of the timeline.
Mhm.
But it's like no one knows that if he's Pre-Vizsla's son. There's no way he is, because he would know.
No, he's not.
There's
There's
Pre-Vizsla.
no way he is.
No, but again, I think what we're leaving out, and we're not going to stay too long on this. I think what we're leaving out is that the Death Watch were the reason that we entered into the siege of Mandalore. They were the sole reason. The Death Watch teaming up with
Fair.
Darth Maul and Savage is what led to the siege of Mandalore. So again, I'm not saying that, I need Paz and Bo to be friendly. I'm just saying the fact that you've never heard of Bo-Katan is what confused me.
I'll give
She was
you
one
that.
of the de facto
like I
leaders
said,
of the Death Watch.
I never got a legit answer, so I just said like, oh, that's how I got to the Branch
Makes
family
sense.
situation. I was like, that's something that makes any type of sense.
All right. Trayvon, you glad to have Daisy Ridley back?
Yeah, I'm excited for her to come back. I love the movies, so all the movies. I know people have problems or whatever. I love her.
Have you seen
Um,
all the Star Wars movies?
I have.
You have all of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Did you see them before you saw those 3 movies?
No.
Then that's why I understand why you.
I saw.
So condescending.
I
Four
know.
or five-
I get it because there's nothing of the old that like you look at and you go, oh, they're just rehashing this because he's never seen it. So like essentially everyone's issue with Force Awakens was
now I'm talking
is that
about
they
the
were rehashing the original trilogy.
The prequels I did not see before I saw the new ones, but when they
Oh, you
announced
saw the.
when they announced Force Awakens, I did watch 4, 5, and 6. before they.
Oh, okay. So you did see them all.
I did see those, but it's.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I
You just
still
got
have
weird
fun.
taste. Gotcha.
I still have whatever. I still have fun. I don't know.
No, but I mean,
a lot in the theater,
having
so.
having Ray back though, it has to feel good because it's like that time of Star Wars shouldn't have to end because people didn't know how to structure movies. You should just stop hiring those people that didn't know how to structure movies. Now, I believe a lot of that issue with was Kathleen. As much as I support Kathleen, don't fuck this up, Kathleen. Because Daisy won't be able to survive round 2 of that shit. I don't know what Hayden Christensen would have went through had Kenobi show been ass. And people just attacked him for another generation. Another generation hated Hayden Christensen. That would have been wild. So just don't get in the way of the writers and the directors. Let them paint one vision and let them, see it through. That's really all I can ask. Definitely really all I can ask.
I guess all I got is just I'm excited to see Ray back. I hope Finn, I hope Poe come back. Put them together. Anyway, yeah, so I hope they come back. And
I never understood that. I never understood that. I never understood that.
I felt
don't
it.
think I'll
I
ever
mean,
understand.
I felt it. I'm just
Okay.
I thought they were gonna put Finn and Ray together.
Yeah,
I thought they were going to put Poe and Rey together. I thought Poe was supposed to be Han, and she was supposed to be a version of Leia. I thought that's what they were going to do. The Finn thing just seemed too on the nose, right? It seemed too on the nose. And apparently that's how, what's his name felt when he directed The Last Jedi. That's why he swerved it and made Finn go with Kelly Marie Tran's character.
See, but that wasn't a swerve. That was like let me throw something else out there that ain't nobody would have
that
ever
whole
predicted
movie was that mindset. That entire movie was that one mindset of everything you guys thought you were getting from the first one.
That's that part.
You're getting that.
No, most of that movie was
the
that.
whole movie was a wrench. What are you talking about? The whole movie was a wrench. Ray, you're somebody in Force Awakens. Last Jedi, you're fucking garbage. And it's like, I'm sorry, wait, what? Like, all right, she doesn't have to be Kenobi's granddaughter, but can she be somebody? That was weird. And the fact that you had to clean it up by making her a Palpatine was even weirder. You were trying to create a parallel between Rey and Kylo that just did not need to exist. Like, that was the weirdest fucking thing ever. I think it would have been a lot more poetic if it was Kenobi's granddaughter than the fact that you made the two title characters Vader's grandson, Palpatine's granddaughter. All right, that's weird. Okay, though.
Why is it weird, though?
Because why does it have to be that neat? Like, it didn't have to be that neat. The two biggest villains, these are their offspring.
You could have did it so much better, even if you were married to that idea. You could have made it story-wise fit why Kylo Ren felt like your parents were nobodies if he's part of this side. Like, it makes sense how you could have done it, but it just kind of the way it came across was just like a bratty guy, just a bratty teen saying, "Well, you're no one." Like, that's how it felt, and it was just weird to me.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Like,
and
then they randomly liked each other, and like,
yeah, then they randomly kissed, and it was just like, this feels weird.
Yeah,
even died for her. I was just like, what the fuck is happening?
Like, it just felt weird.
Day hadn't even passed Didge. She killed him, brought him back to life. He had a vision of his dad, and it was just like, I'm good now. And I'm going to save you because I'm good now. It was just like, this is so weird. This is just like forced almost.
I don't understand.
Yeah, it's forced. It's
how
very much forced.
Okay.
Trayvon, you also wanted Finn and Poe Dameron to be a couple. I don't understand that thought process.
So Trayvon's fairness, a lot of people did.
Because they were trying to ship them. I don't know why, though. There was nothing of those two interacting that made me think they liked each other.
There was, but
I don't understand. To me, Trayvon, this is what scares me. This is what scares me about.
But I understand that.
This is what scares me, though. Okay. I feel as though I have that relationship with all of you. So I'm like, if that's how you see friendship, Trayvon, that's what I think I have with all you guys.
And sometimes friendships turn out things.
Appreciate it. I'm just not interested, my guy. I gotta let you know that I'm just not interested.
I'm glad you're being honest with me now.
Trayvon,
let me down
keep your options open now. Keep your options. You never know.
Yeah.
But no,
I'm okay with. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying. I don't know. I always saw it as friendship, but maybe I'm just also bad at reading signs.
I mean,
I
again,
feel
I don't
like-
have an issue if they wanted to do it. If that was something
Right.
that they have
That
been
was
building up
intentional.
to, then that's fine. I'm not against it. It's just I don't see where the wires were crossed.
No, I'm with you.
For someone
I-
to pick
I
up
honestly-
relationship.
For as
Where
many
does people
people
see
who were
Poe
with
and
it,
Rey?
I was like, damn, I don't see relationships.
You
I
said where
mean,
did they see Poe and Ray?
Yeah, I didn't see that. Where would
I
you
didn't
see
see
that?
No. That was not something that was shown. I just thought when you're building up these characters, clearly each person is resembling somebody of the old team, of the old big three, right? So I just thought Poe Dameron comes in like your Han Solo. She is your de facto Leia / Luke. I don't know what Finn was supposed to be. I guess like Lando. That was very confusing. What he was supposed to be, and then what he was. No, I'm saying there was no clear direction of what he was supposed to be. Again, J.J. Abrams says that he whispered to Rey, "I am a Jedi." That was what he wanted to tell Rey, and that's what he whispered. That's what J.J. Abrams said.
What?
I don't fucking know. That was the big secret of what he wanted to whisper to wanted to tell Rey. So I'm like, I don't know the direction of that character. So that's the only reason why I said Poe and Rey. Not because I saw anything, is because it seemed like they were trying to build that big three.
That was your ship.
As the old
Just
big
like
three.
that Trayvon ship was.
No. For me, it wasn't anything that I wanted. I just thought that's where they were heading with how Poe just seemed like the Han type. So that was my the broomstick kid. Yeah, the broomstick kid's got to come back. He's got to be Rey's apprentice. Yeah, he's got to be Rey's. He's got to be Rey's Padawan. Yeah, he's got to be Rey's Padawan. Broomstick kid's got to come back. Or why even do it, right? Why even do it?
Now I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, I know someone that was just didn't like the movie because they didn't have them be a couple. I was like, that's the weirdest.
Didn't have who be a couple?
Wow.
Finn and Poe.
Oh yeah.
That's a fucking weird reason to not like
That
a
is a
movie.
weird
And it's so funny because I remember when people started saying that they should be a couple was it was either Force Awakens or Rise of Skywalker, where like Poe was excited to see Finn, put his hand on his shoulder, and then bit his lip. And everyone was just like, see, look at that. Look at that. He's turning them on. And I'm just like, I don't see that. I don't get it. I mean, he did bite his lip, but I didn't take it as like, yo, let's go. I didn't take it as that. I just took it as like Oscar Isaac seems to be very aware that he's attractive and he uses it all the time. Like that's just what I took it as. But I didn't take it as like, oh yeah, that's like, come on.
People ship people all the time though, even they're without context, like not realizing they're related or shit like that. They'll still ship you, or yourself.
That's a huge
They were
part of
shipping
fandom,
people the same.
to be fair.
Weird.
Yeah, that's fandom. Again, they were shipping Rey and Kylo heavy. They were. That was just a relationship I never.
I did not mind that at all. Actually,
well, to me, I minded it
done.
because I didn't know where they were going with Kylo till the end of Rise of Skywalker.
Right.
So I'm like, no, I don't want light and dark, and you trying to blend that and make it.
My favorite.
It's so random to me.
Yeah, it was the way it was done. It was kind of forced.
Y'all ignored the scene of Finn and Poe running to each other. He was like, "Yeah, my jacket." Oh, it was a moment. Okay,
No, I'm not ignoring it. I remember it word for word, but I didn't see that as like, I don't know. I'm just not looking at it. I don't know. I'm not seeing it how you are. But no, I didn't pick it up as
to your point, Trayvon. I feel like sometimes there are like guys that are friends that are like so, I guess so like close together that it's almost like they're like a little bit gay for each other. So that's where I can kind of see what you're thinking about.
Wait, are you saying that they're such good friends they're subconsciously gay for each other? They don't even know it. It's just like, it's like, damn, you look good today. It's like, wait, what? It's like, huh?
Like,
it's like
I don't know, like the
love,
like the love that they try and share. Like, hey man, you look good today, man. Like you're sexy as hell. Like that kind of stuff. Like I don't feel like they would actually be like, damn, you looking like what's going on? Like I don't think they would ever
because
you know.
I don't know, stuff like that with male friendship. It gets so weird because of then you gotta address the elephant in the room of how society views men, and this is the conversation for that.
Right. This is not the place for it. But yes, I agree with you on that. But like I said, I don't think any of us have an issue on if that's what they wanted to do. It's just how they went about it was just like it didn't set it up properly to where it would have made any sense. But if that's what they want to do going forward, if they bring them back, I mean, sure, I guess. I don't know. Time. Enough time would have passed that you could say, hey, I've just been hanging out with you for like the last, 15, 20 years?
What if they show up
I
in the
like
movie and Trayvon was right, and they just show up in the movie like, yes, this is my husband now. You know, just,
Yo, you know what'd be even funnier? You know what'd be even funnier is if like somebody asked him, when was the moment? He's like, do you remember that moment where you landed and you had my jacket? And it's like, God damn, Trayvon, you write this shit? Like, Trayvon gets the exact moment too. Like, what is happening?
I'll pass the fuck out.
I know you would. I know you would. I know you would. All right. So because I kept this on here long enough, I'm gonna end it with this. Wait, shit. What was the name of the director, Joel, for
Mangold.
Logan? James Mangold. Thank you. See that? You're the best, James Mangold. I bit my lips. See, I sent messages. I'm sorry, Joel. I gotta unbite my lips. See, I gotta unbite it. I'm sorry, man.
I shaved.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I ended the show. Take back what you just said, Joel. Anyway.
Oh my god!
I don't control people.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. We're ending it on this. James Mangold is directing and writing a Star Wars movie about 25,000 years before, what is it, before Phantom Menace?
The dawn of the Jedi. Let's
before,
go.
yeah, the creation of the Jedi. The Jedi.
When they could fly.
Today.
Anyway, so yes, he will be making that movie. He will be making that movie for Star Wars. I'm excited because, like I said, what he could do for Trayvon is that the Sith do not have an origin that has ever been told. There have been different narratives about different people's opinion about the start of the Sith, but nobody's ever dug into the start of the Sith. So if he wanted to do that, he could essentially also make that whatever he wants. They could fly, they could have wings, they could have lightsabers that come from their wings, whatever they want to do. They could do that. I just believe James Mangold is the perfect person to do this. My only bit of advice to him is the Jedi do have a history, a rich history that is a documented canon history. Don't fuck that up. You can do whatever you want with this.
I'm curious if it's gonna be based off of the comics, the comic run.
It should. It does not have to be word for word, beat for beat, but how the Jedi started does exist. Just follow that. That is your roadmap. Everything else with the Sith, do what you want. The Sith don't start really getting interesting until Bane and Malgus anyway. So in Revan, so. We're far away from them, so do what you want till you get there.
The early Sith aren't too bad. From what I don't know if that's still canon or not. I can't remember.
No, because there's no true history of the Sith. That was the one thing we were talking about, like the Star Wars chats, is that when you go back to the books, even the legends, there's no actual origin of the Sith. That's canon. I'll say that. That's canon. So essentially, if you want, you can just make it whatever you want. If you wanted to. Joel, you are a big fan of James Mangold. I believe he was one of the only few people to get you to cry in a movie theater. How excited are you that he will be tackling Star Wars?
And
Logan? Yeah, Joel cried for Logan. Yeah, he cried.
I didn't cry, but I definitely
Trayvon, I sat next to the motherfucker. He cried. I know this because I cried. Yeah, I was crying. So unless I was seeing double from myself crying, he was crying.
Sure he was seeing double.
Projecting.
I was projecting tears.
There was over. I was like, "Woo, one day." That's
oh my god! Okay,
look, James Mangold's a great director.
Right, just too much. I was like, "Yeah, that's tough."
I loved all that pain he put me through. But go ahead, Joel.
But he knows how to do it. You know, like. That's why he's working on Star Wars and he's doing a DC movie. You're like, wow, so like double dipping and working on the script at the same time. That's impressive. And he got a movie coming out later this year, Indiana Jones.
Yep.
So he knows how to work with big IP, and he's obviously a good writer and director. So I'm very curious with basically a blank slate with the Dawn of the Jedi. what he can do with it. He can just throw shit at the wall, and whatever he thinks should happen can happen. And this precedes even the Old Republic, so it's like, go nuts. Like, I want to see the difference.
There's still stuff that there's
stuff that you have to follow narratively, not character. Like, there's not a specific character you have to do, but narratively, yes, there is a roadmap you should follow.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that though, so I'm just gonna go with whatever he throws at me. I'm just gonna go in line, basically. So a lot of that'll be new to me.
I don't argue that if you don't know of it, but there is a roadmap he should follow. Again, it does not have to be a lot of that for beat. You should follow.
To be fair, a lot of that they're considering legends now. I was just looking it up.
All of it. Because there is some of it that is still canon. Because remember, some of the games are still canon.
True, but
a lot of the new games are canon.
No. Some of the old games are canon as well.
What old games?
Knights of the Old Republic is canon.
So, okay. Does that have Jedi lore? Like, how much?
No. That has all the Sith lore of Malgus, Revan, and they don't have Bane in it. Do they have Bane in there? Wasn't one of them Bane? I know one of them was Malgus in Revan.
When the remaster comes out on the PlayStation, I'll know.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't
believe Malgus, because Malgus was Darth Bane. His biggest contribution was he created the Ruler 2 for the Sith. He came in there and was just like, "Hey guys, get this shit fucking organized. Only 2 of us. It can't be all these fucking motherfuckers."
A lot of it is, yes, there is a history from looking at it now. Yes, there's a history, but like to what Joel's point is, because there's not really a lot of it that's, we know for sure that this is canon. We know for sure that this isn't. This is the first time you can really go definitively and say, this is how this started. Because even, I was just looking it up, the 100 Years Darkness, that's not considered canon anymore.
Yeah, 100 Year Darkness, yeah, that's not canon.
So it's like, but for a long while it was. So it's like, there's so much that...
I will say this, though. We do have to remember, when it comes to canon does not matter, mainly because whoever gets a project, they choose what's still canon and what's not.
Yep.
Because remember, George Lucas had no interest in Ahsoka being canon. Now Ahsoka's very much canon. It's why the flashbacks in her own show are going to be important, because it brings the animation to life to show you that it is canon, right? You can't just say, "Hey, I never watched Star Wars or Clone Wars. It never happened." It did, and it's very much what your future Star Wars is right now, right? So it's like they decide, whoever's doing the project, they decide what's canon.
Yeah.
It's why what's his name said that Starkiller could still happen. It just depends on, is somebody passionate enough to want to do it that then can convince Kathleen to make it canon. But again, we've seen his armor. A lot of people are thinking that Inquisitor is Starkiller. Stupid people. But again, you can make things canon if you want. That's what I mean. Remember what we were just saying? Wait, go ahead, Trayvon. I'm sorry.
Is that Whitwer?
Sam Whitwer, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Legit Sam Whitwer.
Yeah, legit Sam Whitwer.
That's his voice. It's his face.
Right, it's literally him. He could just come in and just be Starkiller. Yeah.
I would love
I
to
agree with DJ Vinny. I love Starkiller.
Well, Starkiller, to me, it all depends, because if you're telling me that you're doing this movie to do a culmination of ending everything, to me, you're essentially saying you want to end everything that could be tied to the Skywalker saga, right? Yep. So it's like, to do Skywalker, you have to do Vader again. To do Vader, you got to do Palpatine. You got to do that whole kit and caboodle. And then once you do that, it's like, well, we're back again. Are we moving forward or are we going back? So that's what'll be interesting to see what Kathleen's plan is.
I definitely think that this is supposed to end all of it. I think that's why that's why they made sure to bring up the Rey series or the Rey movie, and to go to all the way to the beginning, because now you have an entire sandbox to play with, where it's like, that little corner over there, you don't have to worry about it. You still got this entire huge sandbox.
Right. And we did see a trailer for, well, not we, but they did show a trailer for Acolyte. Trayvon tried his best to find the full thing. Me, Trayvon, and AJ could only find the 51 seconds of it. They are saying that show is Frozen meets Kill Bill. And if you got to see the 51 seconds, it is very much Kill Bill. So I cannot wait to see how they amplify that. But in checking that timeline, Joel, Darth Plagueis better be in that fucking series. That timeline is exactly his timeline. It's before Palpatine's, but that is his timeline. So if he's not in it, I have no interest in it whatsoever.
Before, right?
100%. No, 50. It's 50. Just 50.
50 years?
Yeah, it's just 50. Because remember, I think Palpatine was 50 in Phantom Menace. I think he was 50 in Phantom Menace.
What Starkiller fit into?
You said what timeline does he fit into?
Well, I said what show, but sure, what timeline?
Timeline, technically the 1 year. Well, it's before the 1 year in now, but around, not far from now. Maybe 10 years ago is when he first started, or first was created, or brought in, not created, brought in. Yeah, Starkiller.
Wasn't that before?
It would be between. Well, you would say between the two between the original prequel and the original. I would guess would probably be your best.
Yes.
Bet.
Yes. Well, no, because remember, no. Remember, this is Starkiller starts way after Revenge of the Sith. Because remember, Vader is who went and got him. He killed the entire. He killed all the Wookiees.
That's between prequel and original trilogy.
Oh, I'm sorry. When you say prequel, okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Where do you think I was going with it?
Because when you say prequel, I go. My mind is Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, and this takes place after it. So that's what I'm saying. Not between it. It takes place after it. That's what I'm saying. That's why I got confused.
Yeah, in between.
You're just confused in between those three and the original trilogy.
4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why I said now I understand you. But in my mind, I thought you were counting it as during that time, and that's what I'm like. Not during it.
Okay.
It was after. That's what I'm saying.
It's obviously when Vader was still alive. That's probably the best way to explain it.
Right. It was actually the height of Vader. That's when Vader was still going out there doing his own missions.
Yeah, like around where actually fucking Jedi.
So actually, you know what? Let me help you better, Trayvon. Let me help you better. In Force Unleashed Part 2, there is a DLC where you can go kill Luke, Leia, Han, and Chewie. And that battle is during the battle of the last movie. That takes place during the second game. So again, if they were saying that Starkiller is canon and still alive, he would still be alive during the timeline we're in right now.
So Whitworth would.
Whitworth could play him. Yes, Whitworth could play him.
Okay, that's all. That's what I was getting at. That's all I'm getting at.
Yep. Because again, you could age him up if you needed to. But again, the confusion at the end of that game was because remember he was finding out that he was a clone. So I don't know if do clones age. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't know.
They don't, right?
No,
I don't know in Star Wars world. I don't know if clones age.
Depends on which clones you're talking about, right? Because you're like the clone troopers were aged up.
But he was cloned from a Jedi. I don't know if that's different from what they were pulling from
no idea.
Jango Fett. I have no idea. None. So yes, Trayvon, if they wanted to make him canon, he could be alive.
One thing that would be weird though is how's the cloning technology fail that much after if you're figuring whatever cloning technology how they couldn't do. Remember the whole point is that they're trying to figure it out now.
No. If you make it canon, there is a way to explain why you're doing what you're doing now. Remember, at the end of the second one, he destroyed Kamino. He destroyed all of Kamino.
I assumed that even if he comes back, they would have to retell those stories of those games. I don't think they're just going to.
100%. You would have to change. Yeah, you would have to change it drastically because Bad Batch just destroyed all of Kamino.
Right.
So I'm like, unless you're saying this is Kamino Take 2, you got to explain it a lot better than what you did. But then again, I don't think you need to go the route of he died and then he got cloned. You could just say he never died.
Fair.
You can just go with that. Don't clone him. Don't please stop cloning. But yeah, so this takes place 25,000 years before everything that we know. So it is a bit of a blank canvas for him to do whatever he wants. I trust James Mangold. I enjoyed the Wolverine. I enjoyed Logan.
I want to see a difference.
Hold on, wait. Trayvon, what'd you just say?
I'm giving myself like thoughts. I said flight could be an ancient power that was once forgotten.
Yes, I told you that. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, if he wanted to do it, I wouldn't be able to argue against it.
Why not? Why not?
Everybody has to fly.
Why can't they?
I
lift
will say
themselves
this.
in the
I will
air?
say
Why
this.
can't they do
I don't
that?
know. Didge can fill me in.
So
I don't
cool.
know if they consider it canon, but
Super
Dooku
dope.
used to do this form of flying. It wasn't flying
Mhm.
like Superman, but the motherfucker could like levitate and all kinds of weird ass shit. So I'm like, they never did it in Filoni's Clone Wars, but they did it in that Samurai Jack style Clone Wars. The motherfucker
They
levitated all the time. Just like that. That was it. That was all the motherfucker would do. So I don't know. Is that a form of flying? Oh, fucking.
You
No.
use your ability to lift yourself
Bullshit.
off the ground. Love it. Give it to me.
That's what Dooku used to
I
do.
mean, Wonder Woman was flying then. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, it
Oh.
does. Yep. It was flying. Yeah, Joel got you. He got you, Trayvon.
He
He
used
got
her
you.
light- She used her whip to whip herself into sky.
And
No.
then she
You can
stayed
say
up.
he used his cape to keep him afloat in the air. I don't know. I'm just saying there's a way to justify them both.
I don't know. The High Republic touched on it. I do remember that.
Yeah, like
He
I
was
said,
basi-
it's not a weird concept. It's just it's never been done in live action or in
Well,
animation. So unless you read the
during the
books,
High Republic era, they explained it as it's too dangerous because of the concentration. Where
that makes sense.
because
yeah.
obviously everything from the Force requires the concentration. And
Oh, okay. So I don't think Trayvon was saying that. So I think what Trayvon's saying is not that you're using the Force to fly, is that one of your actual powers is that you can
No.
fly.
I'm saying use the force to fly.
Use the Force to fly? Then yes, what Did just saying makes all the sense in the world.
If you have
No,
to use it
that's way
in
much.
ways,
That's way.
not just pushing somebody.
Trayvon, do you see how
Right.
many times when people
Right.
use the Force to stop a building from crashing on them, they get tired? You want a motherfucker to fly a whole distance with just maintaining the Force? Come on now, man. That's crazy. I thought you were saying an actual ability. I was going to agree with you. But the Force? No,
I
that's
think the force
insane.
can be used multiple ways. That's what I said. Just like
Yes,
Force
but
with
unless you're
lightning
telling
is
me you're
focusing
flying
the
from
force.
unless
So
you're
being
flying from
lightning
upstairs to downstairs or
That's fine.
downstairs to upstairs, that's way too
Yeah.
much
so
concentration.
because if that in the High Republic books they do say like yes some of us can levitate, but actual flight like propulsion and everything it is because of the concentration. And think about how many different stressful situations that the Jedi are in. That was sort of their reasoning behind it in those books.
I get
So
you.
they can levitate, yes.
Yeah,
Right.
No.
they did say they can levitate. I don't remember ever seeing it in the in live action thing, but the High Republic books.
No,
are canon,
it's not
so
in live
if he's
action,
saying-
but it is
if
in
he's saying
that
it's there-
first Clone War series, that Samurai Jack style.
Yeah,
Dooku was levitating all the time. That motherfucker was looking
I was gonna
elegant.
say, wasn't Luke one? But no, I think that was Force Ghost.
I mean, there was one
No,
scene
no.
where someone
That's-
did move
Wasn't he
himself
levitating before he died?
in the force, but
Oh yeah, at the
Oh,
end, yeah, he did.
yes. But that was very little. That was very
Yeah, but-
little.
But
That
that's
wasn't
showing
much
how
off the
much,
ground.
how much, and he was projecting all at
takes,
the
right.
same time. which
Right,
is
he was
insane.
doing two things at the same time. Right. So they did end Star Wars Celebration with letting us know that a second season of fuck, I just had it in my head. The trailer just dropped. The anime style Star Wars.
Mhm.
Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
Visions.
Visions.
Yeah, Star Wars
Visions, yeah.
Visions season
Oh,
2, I
so-
believe, is May 4th.
Yeah, May the 4th. Yeah.
They looked awesome. That looked
did.
great. I'm glad that they're continuing that because anime and Star Wars should go hand in hand. They use stop motion for one of these episodes. That looks fucking great. Can't wait to see a little bit more of that episode. They also let us know that the Bad Batch will officially end in season 3 in 2024. So I'm pretty sad to hear that. But again, it's the best way to kind of close that chapter so people don't question, well, wait, well, how long does this go? Can they show up in this and that? Like, maybe it's best you start axing things before
They
it
kind of
becomes a
alluded
narrative.
that the
going
Old
forward.
Republic, the games are canon too, which is a question that people long had. So
What was the one with the twins? With the twins and then their evil ass sister that Trayvon would love. She's just like Scarlet Witch, but Star Wars.
ooh, what is it?
Was that Knights of the Old Republic?
Let me
Or just
check.
the Old Republic?
No,
Because
it
that's
might
what me
have-
and AJ keep asking. Trayvon, I'll send you the cinematic trailer. You'll fucking love it. You'll love it. She has, like, they use a seance to draw out all of her negative energy. Her mom is like a light Jedi, and her dad is like this. He's like Palpatine, but
It is
like
Knights
has
of
the
the Old
powers
Republic.
of like.
The Eternal-
It is Knights of the Old Republic. Yep. The twins.
No, it was in the Old Republic. I'm sorry. It is. It's the,
The Old
Knights of the
Republic,
Fallen
okay.
Empire. That's why.
Gotcha.
So, like I said,
Okay.
yeah, they just in that banner that they were showing all the different eras, they had the Old Republic, and it was the same logo. So you can essentially say that that game must be canon.
Yep.
Which I know
So I'm
that's
sending it to
something
you now,
that
Trayvon.
that's something that definitely people had questions on for a while. So it's dope to see that that's actually canon, and hopefully they can draw upon that, bringing some of those characters outside of the game.
That is, these characters that I'm sending you, Trayvon, is what me and AJ have been asking for years. For them to not only make canon, but to make an actual movie based around them. Because it could be Game of Thrones meets Star Wars is exactly what this could be. Or House of Dragons meets Star Wars specifically.
The Old Republic, the High
So I'm
Republic,
sending it to you right now.
the Jedi. Right into the Empire.
It's the sacrifice trailer.
Oh, this isn't the full one because you're missing the Dawn of the Jedi one.
Yeah, it's the last one.
Yeah, it's the last one, but it's all right.
Yeah, it's essentially this.
Yeah. So that was pretty much all the Star Wars news they've updated us with. There was a trailer for Skeleton Crew, but the one that leaked, I couldn't really understand anything. I think one of them is force sensitive, one of the kids. But it was very confusing. Very confusing. I'm surprised they didn't give us more information about Andor Part 2, not Season 2 technically. Technically, it's Part 2. They didn't even give them a trailer there, so I guess they're still filming it, I guess.
Yeah,
and there was no, even though everybody was there was no confirmation of a Season 2 of Kenobi or Book of Boba Fett.
I think they said no, they just said it's officially it's not an active development.
What is this?
That's their active word. That's their actual word on Kenobi. Is that it's not an active development.
Yeah, again, bringing it back, it just gets really dangerous unless you're gonna actually follow the Kenobi stories from the comics, like him fighting what's the fucking Wookiee? Black Chrysanthemum. Unless you're gonna have him fighting Black Chrysanthemum, shit like actual things Kenobi did, then it's just like don't start fucking up more of that timeline that you already made a bit confusing as is.
I think the same for Taika's Star Wars movie. It's like, hey, this isn't an active development.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you
right now.
I'm going to be honest with you. The rumor has it is that James Mangold's movie, was a concept of what Taika wanted to do. He wanted to do the origin of the Force. But in doing the origin of the Force, you have to then touch on the origin of the Jedi and the Sith. So now that James Mangold's doing that, that can't be what your movie is. So that would be way too confusing.
I don't know if that was real.
Yeah, no, that was real. His retweet? Is that what you're talking about? His retweet?
Well, he liked something that was like shady.
That was like, shading that he took Taika's movie. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yep. So it seems like Taika's movie might not be happy. And you know what might have caused it? Is that Love and Thunder was not well received. And if you're Kathleen Kennedy, you can't afford to be dropping movies that are not well received right now. Especially with you trying to end your TV shows. What do you have them to fall back on?
Oh, yeah, no, she said that they're working on it. It'll be made one day. But I also heard recently that he's doing a live-action Akira, so...
Yes, but I want to remind our audience out there. I want to remind our audience out there.
I said the same thing, Jamie.
Kathleen Kennedy did say the same thing about what's her name, who directed the Wonder Woman movies. She said the same thing about her movies. Right, and we know those movies are not happening. So it's like I think you can kind of see it as
specifically on this one was that he's actually writing it, but then like I said, 2 days later, or it was maybe 3 days later. Word got out that he was supposedly doing a live action Akira, and I was just like, "Ooh, are we sure?"
Well, I mean, that's kind of old. I remember them reporting
that is old.
Literally, Jordan Peele said he got offered to do that, and he said no because he's like, "There's no way he could top it," and he's right.
Guess what? Taika's about to try.
Don't.
If you look Thor, he's doing it. I don't think he's actually going to be able to make it.
Who?
Taika.
To make what the Star Wars movie or Akira?
If that Star Wars movie is what he was going to make, if that is the premise, then no, he has to be writing something else. Then,
that whatever he was writing was unique. I think as I called it.
Yes, and you know what's unique? The origin of the Force or the Jedi. That's very unique. We've never had that in live action or really in animation. Also, last thing I want to add, guys, before we get out of here, Dave Filoni did say he is working on season 2 of Tales of the Jedi. So we will be getting more Tales of the Jedi. I personally would have liked him to do Tales of the Sith, but
Same.
alas, we don't make decisions over here. So fuck it, whatever he wants to do. Just to let you guys know, next week Evil Dead drops. We will not be reviewing it next week. We will be reviewing it the week after. But we will be seeing it. And it's a little while before Guardian, so we got time. I think we'll just do one episode next week to fully wrap up Mandalorian. Just wrap up the whole season because it's only this week and then next week, and then that's it.
Oh man,
season 3.
Really that quickly, huh?
Yeah. So we'll definitely get into that soon. Next week. So stay tuned for that. Jamie, when's the next time you're streaming?
I am streaming on Friday, I believe. We're wrapping up Resident Evil 4. So it could be done on Friday. It might be done like late Saturday night, but either way, I'm going to try and get it done. So
Nice.
get ready for the craziness.
Make sure you guys tune into that. Jamie streams are classic. They're just awesome.
It's really good.
I want to play Resident Evil 4.
One day.
Joel, we had a tough time just doing that fucking Fortnite shit. You want to do Resident Evil?
I want to do Resident Evil one day.
Resident
God bless you.
Evil, it's not as bad as you might think because like those games, you actually have to like create distance away from the zombies, and then they like slowly walk towards you instead of like actual people like trying to
Running
maneuver
at
and
you.
stuff. Yeah, so it's a little bit better, and you can put it on easy mode if you need to. So
Oh,
Not
Joel
that
doesn't
guy.
believe in easy mode.
No,
No,
easy
it has
mode.
to be legendary, hard.
No,
It has to be indestructible mode.
I'm not
That's what he has to
suicidal,
play.
but I'm not easy.
Didge, what's the latest interview you guys had going on over at Geek Set?
Oh, the latest interview. Ooh, an actor from Brothers. I don't watch that show, so I gotta find his name.
I don't
again.
either.
Brothers.
Was
We're
it
happy
Brothers
and we're
or-
singing and we're colored.
Isn't that the one of the ones from Anthony Hemingway is his name? Yeah, he's on he's definitely on Brothers and not on all those BET Plus shows. That's our latest one.
okay.
Obviously we're still going through the recaps on Sway's universe for Mandalorian, and we start Demon Slayer this week. We're gonna get the first
Hey.
episode in, so that's gonna be our
Really gotta
next
catch
one.
up.
First episode.
Yeah,
is
season 3 episode 1 started off great. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of that, and we go live Friday. So there's that.
And it's Geek Set on YouTube and Twitter, right?
Yep, Geek Set podcast everywhere
Geek Set.
essentially.
Yep. So make sure you guys go check that out. I told you guys what our schedule is. NBA playoffs start. I'm gonna let you guys know this right now. Any day the Bucks or the Knicks play, we will not be streaming. So if that falls on a Monday, no stream. Falls on Tuesday, no stream.
Especially, yeah.
Well, the
So-
schedule's
Look at
out,
the
so we can know.
oh, it's out. Oh, I didn't see the full schedule. I just
I
know we
thought it
start
was.
Saturday.
Let me.
I know the
double
Knicks
check.
starts Saturday. So to me, all that
Saturday
meant
time,
was
time
6 o'clock.
works
Yeah,
for
'cause
me.
we're Sunday.
Yeah. So just know that, guys. So if you're looking for a stream and there's not one, just assume that either the Bucks or the Knicks play. So, well, I'm not a Bucks fan, so there'll be no stream if the Knicks play. I'll say that. Sorry, we don't take off.
I
for the
just won't
Bucks.
be here. With the Bucks.
Right,
That's
that'll just be a
fine. You don't
Didge
have-
thing. Right.
I just won't be here.
That'll just be a Didge and Mike thing. They'll be off. You know.
I'll get on my Magic
Celebrate,
Johnson. I won't be here.
I won't be here. We need that so we can bring it up. But yeah, so make sure you guys stay tuned for all that. Who knows? Maybe we stream tomorrow. Play some Overwatch and Fortnite tomorrow. You never know. But stay tuned. Make sure you guys are following us on
or
Twitch.
Among Us.
Or Among Us.
Among
Yep.
Us.
Yeah.
It is Geek Vibes Nation 1, right, Trayvon? That's the Twitch. So make sure you're following us if you're not already and have your notifications on so you don't miss anything we do Twitch-wise. Because sometimes we might stream on Twitch and not go to YouTube. So don't miss out. But we appreciate you guys. I want to give a shout-out to AJ, Mike, Jamie, Didge, Trayvon, and Joel. Thank you guys so much, as always, for potting with me. And until the next time, peace.
Peace.